Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-optional Podcast, the 21st of April, 2015. I am Chewbacca. As you can see.
I'm Han Solo. Are we claiming names? I'm Han Solo.
You're not Han Solo. Well,
Why not?
You got the grey grandma hair, so that works, I guess. But you're wearing a hoodie. San Holo. Who the hell? San Holo is from
JP
the Asian knockoff.
Are we going for accuracy here? Like, what's happening right now?
Absolutely. I made an effort. I look like Chewbacca. See? You know, just... There we go.
So none of us get to play.
I'm now
you have
Chewbacca.
to play all by yourself.
No,
and
he's
I'll get to sit and
Chewbacca.
watch you play.
Dodger is Han Solo. JP and I are R2-D2 and C-3PO, the gay robots.
Oh, okay. Sure.
But who gets to be C-3PO and who gets to be R2-D2?
I have to be C-3PO and you're R2-D2.
That's fine. Done.
You know, you practice this a little too much, I think.
Yeah, Jesse, that seems practiced.
Someone's been working on
Yes,
this.
I've been waiting for this one moment.
Yes.
Yep.
Finally, it
Your life
paid
has
off.
led up to this one moment.
Indeed.
Finally.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Dodger, with your great
Yes.
grandma hair. What the hell happened to
Yes.
the blue? It didn't go well for you, did it? Really?
Oh, it's a semi-permanent because I only use vegan dyes so that they don't hurt my hair. But that means that you have to re-dye your hair every couple of weeks, and I just haven't taken the time to do it.
And unsurprisingly, just like other vegans, it looks ridiculously unhealthy.
What is vegan dye?
Vegan dye is it's vegetable dye. So there's nothing in there that hurts your hair. So every time one of you assholes tweets me, not you guys, but you guys.
Okay.
Every time one of you assholes tweets me and is like, God, every time you dye your hair, I'm sure that it's gonna fall out. Use vegetable dye, you fuckers. So chill out.
Vegetable dye.
Speaking of hair dye, hair dye in Poland. Dodger, you might want to tell this story because it was amazing. Just the best.
Wait, what story?
So while walking around Poland, Dodger and our dear friend Aaron, who has bright purple dyed hair, we were walking around, and I feel like the entire country had never experienced someone with dyed hair before, because everywhere they go, they turn and they just go
it was
really
old
blatant.
Yeah, old people going, and then little
young
kids going. All the little kids were like,
There was this
so
moment we
Color.
were walking down the street, and there was this moment where this little kid looks up and points directly at them, and the mom grabs him and shushes them away. Don't look at
Avert
them.
your eyes, dear. The devil is
was
here in the
so
form of hair.
But I didn't understand because there was a lady when we were getting breakfast one day who had a blue streak in her hair. There were clearly people with hair dye in
they were all
Poland.
old. We were talking about this. All of the people who did have dyed hair were old women. And I feel like there's a point where if you're an old woman out there, you can just do whatever you want. People are like, look, you made your contribution. You know, I'm sure you looked normal when you needed to have a husband, and now you're fine. That's how it translates in my mind.
Do you think that's what they were worried about? That poor girl's gonna die alone. Is
No,
that what they were-
seriously though. When I was in Ukraine, I've told this story before, but when I was in Ukraine, no one knew how to describe me or interact with me because all of the other women that they had ever met that Kate was talking about, all the other women, they would say, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Do you have a husband? Are you engaged? You should meet my son, all these things. And then they met me and they kept calling me handsome because they were not sure what to do with me. They were just like, your friend is very handsome. And they would not even ask if I was married because they knew there's no way a girl like me could possibly be married, right? That was totally what their assumption was. So I feel like in Poland, it was for the older generation, it was sort of the same thing.
It was amazing. It was an amazing moment, and it didn't stop. For every day we were there were people just oh my God. Every day.
It was awesome though.
It was great.
Yeah, because I guess we were being told that in Poland, I guess because of how long they were under Soviet rule, but people were very much encouraged to blend in. You had no business standing out. You were part of, the society. You weren't an individual. And so everybody wears pretty muted clothing and nobody wants to stand out and everybody, just wants to live a nice normal life. And so when you show up there and you have blue or purple hair, sometimes people think it's really weird.
I've spoken to quite a few Poles because obviously I work with GOG with Axiom.
Yeah.
So I've spoken to them a lot. They're very matter of fact. I like them a lot because they'll just say what they think to me, which is fantastic. And I've also spoken to some developers from those areas. They all have very political views, like very anti-censorship, because obviously they've experienced what real censorship is like. So real artistic censorship. So if they see anything like kind of cropping up, they're like, "Fuck that! Don't want that again." I don't fucking blame them either. But the GOG crew is awesome. JP,
Hello.
you're back for I think the 6th time now. You're actually one of the more regular guests we have on the show.
Is it really 6?
Yeah, I think so. I actually looked because when I was just asking you to be guest yesterday, because I suddenly realized I didn't have a guest. I was like, when was the last time JP went on? It was like 5 months ago. So, all right, that'll do.
Yeah.
That's good enough JP gap, I think. I
remember was the last episode also a Halloween episode? I was on a Halloween episode.
What do you mean also a Halloween episode?
I was going to say, this is not a Halloween episode.
No, I know that, but I'm saying the last time I was on was, I think, a Halloween
episode. Just Chewbacca doesn't mean it's a Halloween. What the hell is a Halloween? What the hell am I even doing with my words today?
I don't know. We're not listening to Hadaway.
I think both of you hit
Hadaway? Oh, shit.
That's
Thank
what
you.
I'm going to assume.
Yeah.
There you go.
JP is backup Crendor. Yeah.
It's true.
JP tries to derail the podcast less than Crendor, which is why I like him more than Crendor. So
that's true. I'll stay on topic. Actually, on the topic of derailing, did you guys eat anything cool in Poland?
Oh yeah.
Any sausage?
We ate all the things.
Sausage?
Yeah, what was like the most unique thing?
Jesse, we got raw meatballs. And Jesse was not a fan of that.
No?
Was it just kind of like cold, wet meat? Like what?
It's literally ground beef, but raw and a meatball.
Not a fan of that.
In the form of a ball.
I mean, I will eat very, very rare steak to the point where it's still
like
mooing.
A steak.
But when it comes to like ground beef, I don't think I'd ever eat that raw.
Straight up raw. And
everyone, even Dodger, was like, "It's good," and I was like, "Okay, sure." Put it in my mouth, and it was like 6 minutes of me going.
Is it like seasoned? Like what?
But we also made the
imagine,
same mistake. We also made the same mistake where like everybody else took a bite of it, and I would just put the whole meatball in my mouth. And so when Jesse went to eat it, I was like, "You have to eat the whole meatball, just like I did."
And he was like,
mouth. "Okay." And so both of us were.
Yeah, it was tartare balls. It wasn't very like I don't know. I wasn't a fan. I think it's interesting that we went to with the CD Projekt Red guys. We went to a like traditional Polish place that had, all the things you would assume that when you go to Poland you're going to eat.
I'm honestly not sure what I'd assume I was going to eat going to Poland. I got to be frank.
Lots of pierogi and like meats on like a board. The like various salady things and crazy vegetables and stuff.
Lard on toast. Lard on toast. That was like my favorite thing.
We went to this like it was very traditional restaurant, and then the day before, and then the very last day, we went to this place called like Zabretsky's or whatever it was, and it was, we assume like the fast food equivalent, but we loved it. Like the fast food, it was so good. It was, and we would just order like 4 things off the menu and just all split it, and it was really, really good.
It's the best way to do it.
And so, fast food version of Poland, A-okay.
Good.
We realized we preferred fried pierogi to just the steamed pierogi.
Yes.
Well, frying makes lots of things
usually better. Yeah.
Well, it was for me. It was like a texture thing because the insides were, all like dumpling mushy. So on the outside, having it be a bit more crisp, and you could actually handle it a bit better too. And their gravy was literally just oil with like huge chunks of bacon in it.
What?
Like, all right,
it was,
sick.
Oh my god,
that seems really good.
Yeah.
Aaron just ate it out of the little container. He was like,
yeah, he was like,
that does sound like a pregnant thing to do. Honestly, it's just give me the bacon gravy.
No,
different Aaron. Okay.
Different Aaron.
I was gonna say if she went, it's just like I could just see her drinking a bucket of it. Cravings.
Oh man.
I just realized I look a little bit like that white rapper guy, and it looks like I'm going to pop some tags. Yes, and I look like Macklemore. I'm wearing a giant like fur coat that's actually a Chewbacca outfit, but I'm going to pop some tags. You pull it off
better than he does, TP.
I have 20 galactic credits in my pocket. All right. Yeah, well, our special guest today is, as we mentioned, JP. What have you been up to, JP? You've shaved your beard. You look less homeless. I heard you've got a new streaming setup and everything.
No.
Yep.
Still homeless looking.
Shaved the beard for a sponsored stream with Gillette and Marvel, so that was kind of cool.
Nice. They better have paid you handsomely for that one.
It paid for my brother's honeymoon, so yeah.
Nice.
It did good.
Fuck yeah.
I'm quite happy with that.
Yep.
Then I did a streaming setup. For the longest time, I think even the last time I was on here, I had got an ROG Swift, which is a 1440p
yeah, I'm using
G-Sync
that
monitor. And
it's lovely, lovely monitor.
I built a brand new PC back in November, and then I realized that you can't actually capture 1440p. At least back then you couldn't via a capture card.
No, I don't think there are any capture cards that do that, are there? Oh, there are now.
There is now. Yeah. And so I shelved the monitor, and it was literally just sitting on my floor for like months. And I got a 1080p G-Sync monitor, and then I found a capture card that actually does capture it. So then I redid the entire setup, and I'm on 6 monitors instead of 5, which is why I keep looking down like this.
Who the fuck needs 6 monitors unless you're Batman?
No one.
Nice.
He's a crazy person. He's a crazy person.
He's actually monitoring everyone's phone calls right now in Texas.
I am
looking for crime.
I eventually want to do a video of like why I have 6 monitors.
Yeah, that would be just name it that. Why I have 6 monitors.
It makes sense during a production, but like at the end of the night when it's just like me like reading a webpage, I'm just like, man, this is really stupid. Just like looking around.
Yeah.
It's like this is kind of overdone.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Incidentally, anyone who's having issues with chat, refresh your page. It should be fixed now. Some people have recommended doing pop-out chat. That seems to work, so give that a shot. I can't imagine why I'd actually want to read chat, but
Twitch said it fixed, so
yeah, apparently it is fixed now.
All I can picture is Morgan Freeman standing behind JP, being like, "I can't do this, Mr. Wayne."
Yeah.
The other thing too,
Mr. JP, this is wrong. It's wrong.
I realized ever since November when I redid my stream setup back then that I had been sending mono to the stream.
Yeah.
And it wasn't stereo audio.
I still stream mono. It's just easier.
He's been freaking for days. You have no clue. I follow his damn Twitter.
It's so good.
Holy shit.
What else wrong with streaming mono? I've been streaming mono for 5 years. It works fine.
So much fucking money to get stereo audio to the stream, and it's actually insane.
So you've actually been trying to stream stereo. Okay, fair enough.
I spent like over $1,000 to stream fucking stereo, which is like not that hard to do. It's one of the easiest. You just plug in a fucking cord normally, and everyone can stream stereo.
JP.
I love mono. It's got no problems whatsoever. It just works. So I'm sticking with mono.
Yeah, the reason that I spent so much money is because I had phantom power on the mixer, and I plugged in an 1/8 or a 3.5 millimeter into the back of a PC, and it just shorted the PC. So.
It would do that. Yep. Don't.
And
friends don't let friends fuck with phantom power.
What's that?
That's why I still use a dynamic mic, because I'm too afraid of blowing something up.
I got an inline phantom power now, so it's not carrying into the mixer, so that's good. That's good.
Fair enough.
But yeah, apart from that, just there's been a lot of games out recently, and I've been enjoying playing video games that are good because they've been pretty good.
I've been just sort of searching around for new stuff just to try, and trying to stay away from everything on the internet, because I've realized the internet has been sucking the fun out of my life. So like, you know what?
Just now realized that?
It took me a long time. What can I say? I'm a stubborn motherfucker. But eventually...
Really?
Eventually, I was able to discover, you know what might be good? Video games. Let's just ignore the internet. Let's just play video games. Play the ones I want to play. Make videos of the ones I want to play. Get pissed off at the subreddit because they complain that they're not the ones they wanted me to play. Get over that. Go outside for a while. Eat some chocolate. And then play some more video games.
Yep.
I
thought about actually... One of the monitors is entirely devoted to Twitter. It just has like a giant full screen.
Oh my god, that's the worst idea in the world.
It's been like that. It's been like that for
I
almost
gave
like
my
4 or
Twitter
5
back
years.
to Chris and said, I made a rule that says I'm now not allowed to tweet unless it's a link to something cool. Like, I literally have to have a link in every one of my tweets, otherwise he won't let me do it.
I realized yesterday that my peripheral vision, anytime like a tweet like goes down, I'll immediately see it and I'll just scan it. So like I'm constantly reading Twitter like every 10 seconds throughout the day. I'll just read a tweet.
I used to be like that, and it makes me mad.
Yesterday, I'm just like, I can't.
It's
I'm
insane.
Like stressing out over this.
Yeah,
shit.
don't do it, man. It's the worst. Like, Twitter is it's a constant interruption to your life. Like, and it keeps streaming and it never ends, and it drives you mad. Yeah. Like, we've been talking about this in therapy for weeks, and like my therapist has been like, so why don't you just not use Twitter? Like, and we've been working towards being able to not use Twitter because we've come to the conclusion we can't delete Twitter. Because there's too many followers. Like, we need Twitter to get videos out and shit. But it's like, how can you disconnect so much from Twitter that Twitter doesn't bother you anymore, yet still have a Twitter account with 432,000 followers?
It's interesting, like, trying to explain even to yourself why you need social media.
I don't know.
Why do I check this all the time?
It's also scary too.
There's nothing I can say to myself that makes sense.
I have like a tick. If I'm away from the computer, like if I'm not driving, almost every 30 seconds or a minute, I'm like unlocking my phone, like, oh, there's new.
Wonder what's on Twitter.
What's this? Like, that's how I get.
That was like
through,
me for a year with Reddit. It's like, right, all right. Well, I've read some Reddit. Let's see what's on Reddit. And then just like reload the front page, just like all the links are put. Like, shit, this is bad. But I mean, I don't know. I've been using less of Reddit lately because I don't know. It's been going a bit weird. You know what I've noticed on the front page? Like, there's been a lot of like, there's a subreddit called Fat People Hate.
Yeah, that's
which seems to be popping on the front page all the time. Like, wow, these guys are angry for some reason. It's whenever I see like a post from. It's called Fat People Hate, and like it is literally a bunch of people just shitting on fat people, and it gets to the front page all the time. I'm like,
how does that get to the front page?
And
because there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, and they're not even like funny or humorous.
No, they're not funny at all. It's literally
just
like being mean and horrible. Yeah.
Well, it's like that. Who's that one girl? The one girl who has a Tumblr where she berates models who are fat models, but they're like not at all fat models.
Okay.
Yeah,
like she had that one that was like, Kate Upton is such a fat whore, and it's like,
what?
I
don't go on Tumblr.
Fuck Tumblr.
I don't have an account.
Oh, well, I just discovered that there's literally a Tumblr that apparently documents everything I've ever done wrong, but it's all completely taken out of context. The latest one is like, this is TotalBiscuit's anti-feminist screed. I'm like, what? There's nothing anti-feminist about what I just said. What the hell? I don't know. I find Tumblr just to be hilarious, but I've been trying my best to just disconnect slowly. And you know how I've done it? Wrestling. I have replaced.
Been super into wrestling lately.
I've got super into wrestling, and I've like
very into wrestling.
Instead of spending hours on Twitter, I now just go and watch wrestling, and it's just so much more fun because they can argue like idiots for me. Like it literally is like watching the internet, only it's acted. Like yesterday's Raw was hilarious. I watched. I'm getting my kid into wrestling as well because like we have like nothing in common when it comes to like watching TV. But myself and the missus were watching Raw last night, and he came into the media room, and we're like, "Why don't you just sit down and watch Raw with us?" So he stayed there for like an hour, watched Raw. We were explaining everything to him because like, why is this this way? Because he's very picky. He understands rule sets very well, which is why he instantly called bullshit on the WWE because they consistently ignore the rules just for the sake of the storyline. It's like, shouldn't they be disqualified when they're like literally fighting in the middle of the crowd? Like, yes, they should be, but it's storyline.
This is about two men. This is about two men getting rid of some anger.
The match never finished. That match never finished. They literally went out the back and the match ended. Like, the guy basically ran off out the back, and that was it.
Was that the final match of the night?
No, the final match.
Usually on Raw, they never even finish the final match, right?
Oh, no, they finished the final match. The final match was hilarious. But it was 3 hours of wondering what would happen, because the storyline was that, like, Randy Orton was really pissed off, and he was going to do his finishing move on everyone he saw. So literally it was 3 hours of wondering, like, when he'll jump in from off camera and just put like, they were in the cafeteria, and it was just a random conversation. And then he just randomly comes on the camera and finishing moves the guy through a salad. Like,
that's awesome.
Just puts his face into the salad and through the table and just runs off. It was 3 hours of that. It was the best.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
It was hilarious and so stupid.
Did they have anyone in the background shout RKO every time he did it, though? Or
it was the commentators did it every time.
Nice.
Like,
so basically they did the meme. They basically did the
RKO
meme.
from out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, out of nowhere RKO.
They've started using that. They've started saying that in the commentary all the time. It's like, RKO from out of nowhere. It was so fucking good.
Those videos are amazing. The vines of RKOs are just.
Oh, I've seen the YouTube video where they're like they put Randy Orton randomly into like the Hindenburg disaster, where it's like RKOing the Hindenburg. It's like, oh god, I shouldn't be laughing at this.
Right.
I don't know, it's been funny. So yes, that's my advice for everyone on the internet. Replace social media with wrestling.
Wrestling's good.
You will find it's a much more fun
watch the video
life.
Wrestling Isn't Wrestling, actually.
Yes, that video is amazing.
To me.
And hilarious.
Amazing video.
Yeah.
24 minutes long. Go check it out.
Yeah, watch Wrestling Isn't Wrestling. It not only does it explain why people like wrestling, but it's also fucking hilarious.
It actually got me into like wanting to watch wrestling. I almost
Go
bought
watch,
the network
just
thing.
like sign up to the WWE network
Yeah.
and watch NXT. Trust me, like
It's
you
like
will not regret.
$5 a month, right?
It's $10 a month. You get all the pay-per-views. You get
you
like
get everything.
They've just put all the Attitude Era stuff on, so you can go watch the dumbest shit in the universe, like just the wrestlers you've never heard of for like 20 years. Like they're there, and I think there was one episode where Stone Cold was literally just going around stunning everyone for no apparent reason, then running off back into the crowd for 3 hours. It was great.
Oh man.
I can't. I immediately talking about this one and looked up RKO video. It's just the best of compilation, and it's so funny because the way they do it too is like Randy Orton slithering up behind them, and it's like this.
I mistake.
And then he just RKO's them.
Oh, here it is. I'll put it on for the guys on the thing.
Oh shit! Is it funny?
It's his whole snake gimmick is so fucking hilarious. Like I'm a snake. Just like,
This is really.
this never gets boring. Like, it's just,
Oh my god. That's a really dumb video. It's a really dumb video that I wish I had the creative insight to create.
I could just do a 3-hour podcast just watching dumb wrestling videos. Like,
It never gets old.
no, it doesn't. Oh shit. Oh, okay. Video games. Let's do video games. Speaking of video games, WWE 2015 is coming to PC, so we can talk more about wrestling. But no. Apparently that game's actually not very good, but I can do the thing with it. I can make the Dodger wrestler and the Jesse Cox wrestler. Did you see the video? Wrestling is Strange, where they made the Life is Strange characters in WWE 2015, and they put the music and the voice over it. It was fucking hilarious. They look exactly like them as well. It's so good.
Huh.
There's a Danganronpa X wrestling video as well. He did an entire series of it where he mashes up Danganronpa with wrestling shit. It's really funny. Absolutely worth it. Okay, video games. Yeah. JP, what have you been playing this week? What's been going on?
I guess most recently I played Titan Souls start to finish yesterday.
How long did it take you?
2 hours and 30 minutes for the 19 bosses.
Really?
That's a short game.
Yeah, and
that's
I've
super
heard
short.
that's fast. It took Zeke 6 hours. Ezekiel
Well, Zeke
the third.
is terrible at video games.
He's terrible at video games, so that's a good judge.
Yeah.
I think he had like 400 deaths, and I had like 140 or something like that. It tells you when you beat the game. But I actually, it's kind of short for $15. That's the one criticism, but I really enjoyed that game for some reason. I guess because I wanted like a light Dark Souls after finishing Bloodborne, and that's exactly what that felt like. And it was good. But it's 2 hours and 30 minutes to beat it, so it's kind of short. And you only have to kill. I think you only have to fight 14 of the bosses before you can get to the final boss. You don't even have to fight them all. There's not really any secrets or anything. It's literally like walk around, find a boss, fight the boss. Walk around some more, find another boss, fight the boss, and that's the game. But I enjoyed it a lot.
Dodger, you said you were playing that one, right?
No, I had only played it at an event. I haven't played it since it's been released. But I liked it when I played it at PAX. So
yeah, the music is really good too. I would actually say the music might be the best part about that game.
Yeah, I need to grab the soundtrack for it. It did seem really, really nice.
You can get I think if you get the collector's edition for $20, it comes with the soundtrack, and you save like $2.
It'll probably be bundled in one of those music bundles later on. Like they do. I think you can buy it right now. Bundles where there's like 20 of them.
Yeah, the one thing that does suck about the music is that it restarts every time you start a fight, and literally since you only have one hit and you die, same as the boss. If you hit him once and it's
so you hear 3 seconds of the music, then it stops like fuck.
yeah, like the music gets really good, and you're like you're dead. And then you go back in, it's like, oh, this is not, and you're dead. Like that in the final boss that happened. Like I probably died 40 to 50 times on the final boss in like a 20 or 30 minute period, and we never heard more than 10 seconds of the opening song throughout the entire course of it. So, but I really enjoyed that game. I think it plays well, looks pretty good, music's great. It's just a little bit short for $15. Maybe wait for it to go on a Steam sale. If you're worried about time for money spent on a game. What else? I played through Mortal Kombat Story. Talked about another short game.
Yeah, I played a bit of that. How long was the story mode on that one?
It took me 4.5 hours.
Wow, that is much shorter than MK9.
That's super short too.
MK9 was like at least 6, if I recall correctly.
It definitely is shorter. And they also it was all right. It wasn't that challenging as well. And they kind of, I don't know if I like the new characters. They have like the 4 young characters, which have a little bit of spunk to them, and I didn't really care for that. Like I'd rather be seeing Liu Kang's not. He says like 5 things in the entire story.
I like the fact they've moved it on. Like I think it was really the only thing they could have done, because MK9 was like, we're redoing everything because time travel. So that was their excuse for rebooting it. They couldn't do that again, you know?
Yeah. The story was all right. MK10 on the PC though is a little bit of a different story. Like it's just been a weird release, especially. I'm sure you guys, I don't know if you talked about it last week, but just how it was released on Steam.
Well, it was broken on day one. I put out a video about that. Like, I literally, I could play training with half the characters.
It was really broken.
Everything. I couldn't even get to the credits. It was that broken. Like, you couldn't even access the credits. They use this new system, which is an adaptation of what they do on console, which is streaming content, but it completely fucking broke on launch.
Yeah,
it was
I don't know how that's
worthless.
supposed to work. Like,
it's supposed to work the way that Blizzard's works. The problem is it doesn't work anywhere near as well. Like
I don't know if anyone that uses, like, for me, when you download a PC game, you click download and then it downloads the 30 gigs and then you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just leave it and it's done.
Well, particularly on Steam, you don't do the streaming thing because most people have the option disabled where if you're playing, it pauses all downloads. So I think that's probably an issue with it as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not a good system. And
then on Friday they put a 15 gig patch out.
Oh fuck me.
Here's a 50. I don't even know how big the entire game is, but I'm pretty sure that's more than half the game.
Yeah,
it is
fully download it.
Well, it's the initial download's 28 gigabytes, I think, for the game, but then they do 37 of these downloadable packs, which can be anywhere between like 500 to a gig each. So there's I don't know I'm just checking out what the final install size is on it. It's pretty big. It's been the week of really gigantic fucking installs. Like, my SSD's been crying for mercy. Like, because Grand Theft Auto is gigantic, and MK9's 35 gigs as well.
They said that they were redoing shaders or something like that for the PC version. That's why it was that big. There were some other issues. The online's still pretty screwed.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of bad stuff about the online. I haven't played online
Sam
yet.
has had nothing but problems with online.
Yeah, he keeps asking me to play, and I'm just like, is it working? And he's like, not really.
It was the same with MK9. The MK9 on PC is ported by a company called, I think, High Voltage, and everything they port is slapdash. So it doesn't surprise me at all that the online's fucked again. It's really annoying, though, because we've been asking for fighting games on PC for ages, and obviously we play online a lot, and then they break the fucking online mode. And then we fucking had, what was it, goddamn, the first version of BlazBlue, where they didn't even put an online mode in it.
On the PC version?
Yeah, and Dead or Alive 5 is not going to have online for another 2 months. They released it a few weeks ago
without
without online.
Why is it so difficult to do online on a PC?
I have no idea. I don't know what the hell is wrong with it.
Maybe servers? I don't know why.
I don't know.
They don't want to allocate the servers to it or something?
I don't know, but
I have no idea.
But it's like PC guys really need the online mode because obviously we're probably not in front of a TV and bringing people around to play. Not that it's not possible, but we're less likely to be. So it's fucked that every time we get a fighting game, the online is a mess. I mean, I think Ultra Street Fighter 4 is still broken on PC, where it's super laggy. Like it really is like Skullgirls and maybe a couple of other fighting games that run well, and the rest of it's just balked. Really annoying.
Yeah, I think from what I've seen, and it's very limited, but I think everyone says that the PS4 version right now is the preferred version of MKX
because it works the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. And then I actually think that even though that's preferred version, I think ESL was using Xbox One like 2 days ago for its big tournament.
Sponsorship.
That's a sponsorship.
Dodger, where do you go?
What?
Dodger's.
I thought she was just. I thought she was just
staring at the camera.
No, she literally just disappeared. All right, well, hopefully I have her back in a minute.
She'll be back.
I mean, I kind of like. I don't hate the game, and I like the new story. I'm not through it again. Apparently, it won't let her rejoin. I'm gonna try and recall her here, but the problem I've got with it is that based on like recent fighting games, it does a really shitty job of teaching you how to play.
The training's not good.
No, it's not. I mean, I played
trainer, which I miss.
Yeah, I think the recent one that I played was the new Guilty Gear, and it has a fantastic training mode. If you've got like an hour to kill, you go through the training mode, and basically they teach you pretty much everything, and it's great,
Right.
Absolutely fantastic. But with MK, it's like, well, here's how to do a very basic combo, here's how to block, and here's how to do an X-ray. Now just go and do whatever. And so I don't know any of the moves, and I'm just kind of guessing and going through all the usual combinations. So it's pretty annoying to learn how to be good with a character in that game.
Yeah. Honestly, one of the best ways to do it is from that I've seen is like just play versus a medium or hard CPU and just watch what they're doing with that character and then just try to copy the combos.
Yeah. I should probably
all
just
I've
like
done.
load up some videos and just like watch people do combos and tell you how to do it.
If you watch like Justin Wong and Maximilian have been
Wong!
streaming it both.
Yeah, I was watching
And,
Max play last night, actually.
they're both very good at the game and will teach like it's almost they're so good at a game that seeing that game at a high level is like I don't want to play this anymore because they're juggling people for like
35 to 40%,
damage.
and are like,
No,
fuck,
it's like
I can't
60.
do that. Yeah.
Like you can do an Kung Jin or whatever has like a 3-button combo to do 38% or something, which is not that hard to do.
Combo. Jesus.
Yeah, like you do a or wait, it might even be higher than it might even be like 44. It's just like you jump up in the air, you do his attack or you do his kick thing, which slides down, and then it's gonna knock him up, and you hit him, and then you do your X-ray, and it's like 44.
Oh,
that's not even
so
that
it
much.
includes an X-ray. I was gonna say that's not really
yeah.
a 3-button combo if you use an X-ray in it. Come on.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, like
Kind
watching
of.
Jay Wong do it.
Three-step 44.
Yes.
Three-
As long as
there
you have a
three
full
step.
energy bar. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, watching Jay Wong like juggle someone for like 60% HP, it's like what?
It's like, why do I even play? Yeah.
Like what? One, like why? I'd never want to play someone like that because that won't be fun. Because I don't know to not.
Don't worry,
Or,
we'll
like,
never
just
play
that.
someone like that.
Yeah.
we
will never
play
run
someone
into them,
like that.
thankfully.
Watching the really good players it's always been like that in fighting games, and I think
Yeah.
it's probably like that for watching like RTS matches.
I
on
think
that
it absolutely is.
level, yeah.
Yeah, because
not-
something like StarCraft has such a high skill ceiling. It's like, I'll never be that good. But to be fair, that's why it's fun to watch.
Yeah,
Totally.
that's true.
Yeah.
And it's a very pretty looking game. Like they just don't give a fuck with the gore. Or maybe they gave too much fucks and they just made it super gory.
Some of the fatalities this time are even more ridiculous. It's like, how could
Yeah.
you even go this far? It's
I think
What's
favorite
your
one's-
favorite one?
my favorite one's probably Cassie Cage's, where she like gets her baton and like dislocates someone's jaw, just rips their jaw off. Like it's how she makes them smile. And she goes up with her or phone and
she
takes
does a
selfie.
Yeah.
And it zooms out to like Friendship, which is like their version of Facebook, and it has like all these active posts from like all these other fighters, and like it's probably the best
That's
one,
pretty
but
funny.
it's really stupid.
Yeah.
In terms of like raw gore, I don't know which one.
I know
I was
there's one
watching-
where a head gets ripped off and then just shoved into someone's stomach. That was like pretty brutal.
There's two of those. Goro
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
one where he smashes someone's head into their chest and then rips their chest open, and
Yeah.
you see the head inside their chest. And then
Who
there's
is it
one
that
like
does the one where he rips through the guy and sticks his head through? Like
that
there's-
might be Scorpion or someone. I don't know.
I
I
can't
know what you're
remember who
talking
did that, but it's like, holy shit.
Melina does the one where she like grabs at the stomach until there's like no flesh
Oh
left
my
and just
God.
like eats it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then some
like that
people were complaining that they changed the costumes. I'm gonna be entirely frank. I'm absolutely fine with the female characters not running around in thong bikinis anymore. That's
Yeah, I think it looks great.
that's
Like,
totally
sure.
fine. Like their new costumes are good. Like
And they
there
have
was
some of the old
there was
ones,
no
too.
reason. There was no reason. And what was annoying is that they all looked the fucking same. Like it was like
Yeah.
4 characters all wore like the same kind of.
They were all
bikini-looking
ninjas, or they were all
thing.
female ninjas.
Yeah, it was like Katana, Jade, and Melina all looked. I understand the similarities, like thematically and in the lore, but they all basically look like recolors of the same bikini.
but then there's like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Reptile are all the same
And
too.
Smoke.
Like
No,
it's just
it got
Yeah.
crazy. It was Scorpion, Reptile,
Noob Saibot.
Sub-Zero, Smoke, Rain, Noob Saibot, and they were all the same costume with just different
Yeah.
colors.
This time around, everyone looks different, which is great. Like even
Yeah.
Scorpion and Sub-Zero, they've put an actual effort into differentiating the costumes. So I'm totally fine with that. Like
Yeah, I think it looks fine.
I know some people got upset. It's like, oh, well, why are you worried about titties, but you're not worried about tearing someone's head off? It's like, it's not about that. It's about making the characters look interesting and not just be like titillation, you know?
Yeah, right.
So what's
It's
what's
about
wrong with
putting
that?
some actual creativity into a game where you
Yeah.
have to choose
What
a
if the
character to
character's
represent
name
you
was-
over and over
It's
again.
especially
What if the
true if
characters-
they advance the timeline as well, which means that changing the costumes makes perfect sense.
Sure.
What if the character's name was Boob Sabat and it was a chick with like 50 boobs? That was interesting.
Sure.
I'm interested in that.
Yeah. I'd be
Uh-huh.
into it.
Okay,
But she wasn't like naked. She just had 50 boobs. I'd be
Right.
down with that. Boob Sabat.
good to
There
know.
you go. New character. DLC coming soon.
DLC boobs a butt.
Boob Sabat.
Boob,
and then
boob,
she,
boobs a
So,
butt.
so to go back to
Boobs
wrestling
a
for a
butt.
second.
Oh, and her butt is
Ah.
boobs. Her butt's two
Oh, that's terrible.
Ah.
There's an indie wrestling promotion where they do intergender wrestling, and there's a tag team where the guy does the boob plex, where he grabs the girl by the tits and suplexes her, and then his female partner
What?
does the balls plex, where she grabs the guy's balls and then suplexes him. Yeah, I shit you not.
That's
I'm gonna have
It's
to
the
look up videos
dumbest
for
stuff
this.
in the universe.
Oh,
Let's
jeez.
look up videos for that.
And they yell
Boobs,
like
butt.
balls plex before they do it. It's just
Of course they do, because why not?
Balls
Balls
flex.
flex.
Of course that's
yeah.
what she is.
Again,
What
I
else would you
like
do?
the new design of them. Like it's good because again it differentiates them and they
Yeah.
don't look like 4 recolors of the same person. Because
I
let's
don't
be
like
honest,
Rain's redesign. I think he looks stupid.
he's a bit
Who?
overdone, right? He's
Rain?
over designed. Rain.
But he just looks like a. Rain was, I guess, one of my favorite characters, but I felt like because he was purple, they made his character look like super, almost feminine in design. Rather, he's still a male, but like everything about him is just like not a cool looking Rain guy. It doesn't look like it.
Right,
He
you
just
don't
looks
think
weird.
Feminine can be cool.
I didn't
JP?
say that. It just looks weird.
JP confirmed sexist. Let's get that Tumblr post up. Let's go.
Great, here we go. That's why I came on the show.
Absolutely.
It just doesn't look. I don't like his design.
but I mean,
at all.
didn't he look quite similar to that MK9? Because wasn't Rain a DLC
I didn't play
character?
MK9, so I don't know.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
I was
Oh,
looking up. Yeah, in Mortal Kombat 9, he just sort of Ninja E with purple. He looks pretty much the same.
He's a bit more over designed, I'd say, in MK10. In MK9, they tried to differentiate him a little bit from the other guys because when they first brought Rain into the game, which I think was MK3, he was literally just a recolor of Sub-Zero. He was the purple
Right.
version, and then you had like Reptile was the green version, Smoke was the gray version, Noob Saibot was the red version.
Yeah. They got rid of like the black undergarment in 10 that he's wearing in 9, unless this is like a different costume. I think the MK9 looks awesome. Like I like the black undergarment there, but this one he doesn't have as much. Like it's his MK9 costume if I'm remembering it correctly, but there's no like ninja garb. He's
Right,
just wearing
okay,
like
fair enough.
purple clothes and gold everywhere. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not a big fan of.
Go.
But yeah, again, I think the costume design's pretty good. So, and they're releasing like classic costume packs anyway. So if you want the old look, you can get their old look. So you got the choice.
Yeah, yeah.
I still love the idea that each character has 3 variants, but it just makes them even harder to learn now because they don't teach you anything. I think that the lack of a good training mode is probably the biggest issue outside of the broken online that I have with MK10 at the moment, and it's frustrating me so much because, as I said, Guilty Gear and Skullgirls all like showed the right way to do it. Even the training mode in Killer Instinct was really good. And that's been the trend lately, to make really good training modes to try and help people to get started in the game. But I don't want to go online because I feel fucking useless. Like I can't even do a decent combo. I can't do half the special moves because I don't know what they are. For some reason with my fight stick, when I plugged it in, I was able to rebind everything, but I can't bring up the menu. So I can't, like, hitting escape doesn't do anything, hitting start doesn't do anything on the PC version, so I can't bring up the menu with the moves in it. And to quit the game, I literally have to Alt F4 it. So it's a fucking giant pain in the ass.
I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like fighting games still to this day, you get better at them if you have like friends there that you play with constantly.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, of course. I agree 100%.
Like that friendly competition aspect of it is definitely why I ever got good at any fighting games.
Yeah, or really any game in general, I would say. That's the kind of the main drive.
I mean, I ground out 1,000 games in the original Street Fighter 4 as Dan, and that's kind of how I got to a basic kind of level of competence and actually learned combos that worked and learned which moves were safe and which weren't, learned which moves I had priority on versus certain characters. Which in the original Street Fighter 4, pretty much everything, by the way. That was the best thing about Dan's Ultra in Street Fighter 4. It went through every other Ultra. So you just they went an Ultra for you, and then while they were doing it, you bashed the Ultra combination really, really fast. And then you ultra'd them. You went right through their ultra and beat the shit out of them. It was great. But then they nerfed him again.
Yeah,
so
Street Fighter 4 was the game that I was like, I'm gonna take fighting games serious.
Yeah, it was the same with me.
Lasted about a week. I got like Mike Ross to come in and like tell me actually how to play fighting games. I'm like, fuck this. This is too hard. Like I'm not gonna do this
is
at
way
all.
too much work.
This is gonna take forever to learn, and I just didn't.
Some people are saying that apparently Ultra Street Fighter 4 online is a lot better now on PC. That they actually fixed it up. That might be cool. I might go back to playing it because I still love Street Fighter over all the other games. Yeah, MK's cool. Skullgirls is cool. I even like Dead or Alive. I'm not a big fan of 3D fighting games, but I think Dead or Alive's it's very elegant in terms of the control system. I love the counter system in that game. It feels very smooth, very natural. But Street Fighter 4 is still the fucking best. I love that game.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think most fighting game players would probably agree with that.
Best to watch, too. Love watching that game. Sure. Better than Smash. Better than everything else. Absolutely.
Yep.
What else have you been playing this week?
I checked out GTA 5, the PC version.
Good, right?
A lot of that. Yeah. I get 140 FPS with everything. Kind of your build, actually. Your setup almost identical to it with 980 SLI and 5960X and all that stuff. And I'm getting like 140 for the most part. It'll dip down to...
It dips in certain
60,
areas.
70 in certain areas, yeah. But it never goes...
If you actually go out of town, it fucks it up pretty badly because apparently it's the grass. Like, the grass really fucks with your frame rate.
That's what people were saying in, like, the northeast part of the world, or part of the city or whatever. I would go over there, and I'd see... I never got below, like, 50, I don't think.
No. As long as you have SLI on. If you're running on just one card, you can definitely dip to 50 or below if you're running on Ultra.
Yeah. I want to see what it performs like. I'm supposed to be getting some Titans here pretty soon. I want to see how it performs with, like, dual SLI.
I need to race you to get my Titans. I've been thinking about it. They're constantly out of stock, like... Some people say, oh, well, who buys them? Oh, everybody does. Like,
they're hard as hell to get.
They only make a small number of them because obviously it's a very niche market. They sell out instantly when a Titan X becomes available. But they're so fucking powerful. Holy shit.
I think the game looks great. I haven't touched the single player because I played through it on the...
Oh, so you've just been playing online?
Yeah, I've been playing purely online.
I
haven't done a heist yet because they're broke.
Really?
On the PC.
Oh, lovely.
Like,
I didn't know that.
They're broke for certain people. Like, some people have gotten them to work. We tried playing with DJ. Me and Wheat were trying to do a heist on like Saturday.
Okay.
Off stream. The first one is a 2-player heist, and we spent maybe like 2 hours, and it would just like it would like lock up. Like the game would still be running and everything. We'd just be stuck inside of a car, unable to do anything.
Interesting.
And I've seen some issues with it on some other streams, but a lot of people are having good luck with it. So I'm hoping that we can at least jump into that soon, because the fun part of the online stuff is definitely like the chaotic stuff that occurs. So getting like 30 people into a lobby and just setting them out in a free play is a lot of fun, especially for streamers who just have a large chat. You can just open the game up, 30 people join. You go
and then
sit
they
at
troll
an
the shit out of you, probably.
Well, no, you go sit in an intersection, and then just like cars start coming by and just like ramming into each other. And then eventually
Giant
4
pile.
stars show up, and like those 4 stars never go away because eventually there's enough people where it'll just keep going to another person, and then the cops just show up in like huge bunches of like 60 cars at once, and it's all running super well at like 60 FPS still. So it's just absolute mayhem, which is a lot of fun.
Some people are saying, incidentally, that the GTA 5 online like heists are broken on all platforms right now.
Yeah.
PC. So after a year and a half of them getting them into the game, and then they can't even get them to work. So
I was
lovely.
just about to say, waited forever for them to even be in the game, and now they don't work.
Yeah. So I'm still having a lot of fun with it. I'll definitely go back to it. I want to play the like there's all those side mini games, and Rockstar's always done a really good job with them.
Oh yeah, totally.
They were playing, a bunch of my friends were playing golf last night, and so I think we're gonna like get together and do like a full 16-hole golf match on stream with 4 people. It seems super fun because they put a lot of work into the golf in the game.
Yes. Yeah, I mean it's a great game. There's no doubt about that. There's lots to do, and I could easily spend like 40 hours playing that game, but I'm gonna play something else because I'd rather just do that. So.
And if you haven't played the story, like
I haven't played through the story yet. I'm getting there. I'm playing like a little bit. I know my wife is actually further on than I am.
Yeah.
But it's I mean, obviously, like it's fun. Everyone knows GTA is good. Like that's not
the biggest thing in that game, and this was even true on the PS3. Like the animations in that game are so good. Like probably some of the best.
Spent a shitload of money on it.
Yeah, like probably some of the best I've seen in a very long time. It does so much to make those characters so likable. The three main characters that you play, Franklin, I can't remember, Michael.
Except one of them's fucking insane. Like
Trevor's
insane.
Well, that's what makes him likable. Yeah,
he's really likable.
That's
Trevor,
why he's the best.
Just adore Trevor. No, he's a complete murderous psychopath.
He is, and he's a lot of fun. But yeah, I've been having fun with that. I probably put 40 hours into it in the past week.
Yeah, it's good that we finally got it. Fucking took forever, but eventually we did get it. You know, and it's obviously the definitive version. Like, it kicks the shit out
100%.
of all the console versions, including the next-gen ones. It's just so much better.
Yeah. Played a little bit of Killing Floor 2 when that was open. I think it came out today, so I'm going to play
it's
more
out today.
this week.
Yeah, I think the plan is we're probably going to play it tonight, right? I think Maggie's streaming it.
Yeah, Maggie is going to stream it. Maggie, and I might get 2 or 3 other people. I haven't confirmed.
I'll be cool with that. Killing Floor 2 is great fun. I did the preview of it about a week ago. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when you've got...
I want to see more classes.
Yeah, I want my demo class back so I can get my fucking grenade launcher.
See, I didn't play any Killing Floor 1, so I don't know what to expect from the other classes.
I put so many hours into that game. So good.
It should be fun. And it runs... The biggest thing I took away from that early access or whatever it was that we played was that it runs really well.
It runs beautifully, yeah.
It's
got persistent gore. Like by the end of the game, the whole floor is just covered in blood.
Yeah,
it's
really
blood on the walls.
Killing floor.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a real killing floor now.
And being able to see other bosses will be cool too, instead of just the same one over and over.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with early access. That's why I don't want to put in too much time on it, because by the time it comes, it's the same problem a lot of people have. By the time it actually comes out, you'll be bored with it. It's the same reason we all stopped playing Darkest Dungeon, because we were just waiting for it to come out with the full content, because we didn't want to get bored of it.
Sure. So yeah, we'll be playing some of that tonight. And then finally, the game that I play off stream the most, I've been playing it on stream as well. And I think has been talked about on the podcast before. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah! Jesse played it on stream too.
Jesse actually played it?
Didn't you play it?
No, I was trolling him last night. If you're talking about my tweet where I said you're going to load up Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, I thought Sam said that he saw that you were playing it. Maybe he was referencing you.
I think he's secretly playing it, and he won't admit it.
I was like so excited to be like, Jesse!
I know you've talked about it before, Jesse, but very shortly, what don't you like about it?
I mean...
Is it the GCD? You don't like the global cooldown on abilities, or you just don't like the game?
No, I just don't like the game. It's grindy. I think that I don't know. It's just I can't explain anymore how much I dislike the game without sounding like a prick who's like, I don't like it, so you shouldn't like it. So I've just literally given up.
Okay.
You have tried to convince Dodger not to play it, and it's not worked. So,
well, I think I'm the
do what you want with your time. Have fun. Here's what I know though, and this is what I believe. Sam the other day he's like, you should play with us because when that expansion comes out in July, and I was like, by July you guys will not be playing this game. I don't care what anyone says. You can't hit max level in an RPG and keep playing for May, June, like into July. Like there's nothing to do. There's not whatever. I'm gonna shut up.
Aren't you doing the end game dungeon stuff, Dodger? Like you're giving up?
Yeah.
There's still tons of story that we
That's
haven't
the thing.
finished
There's
yet.
tons of story. And I don't. Where are you at right now in the story, Dodger? What's the last thing you did?
Oh shoot! I've been leveling up Thaumaturg so that I can get Swift Cast. So I haven't been doing very much story stuff because I'm trying to level up my other classes so that I can get my cross class abilities.
Okay. I put about.
I've been trying not to
boring.
get too far
That's
because I don't know. I would love for like Yumi and Sam to be able to do like the big story stuff together again. So I haven't really known like how far you are.
I just killed Leviathan.
Okay, so I can do the Leviathan.
Okay, so Sam,
but I haven't done it yet.
I actually have like my one complaint right now about the game is there is so much story and so much of it is just like, hey, you should run from point A to point B and go talk to this guy.
Yeah.
And it's just like that over and over and over. It's like, oh, you should go fight these 6 dudes.
I would say that at least 60% of the story I find really interesting. Like 60% of the things that are story related, I'm like, oh, this is cool, and like it all ties together and stuff.
I wish that every part of it was voice acted instead of specific parts.
Me too. But the problem is that they have so many sections that they write your name into, and they can't voice act shit.
Yeah.
Like I realized that was the big difference is the scenes where they reference you directly or they talk to you, they don't voice act.
I think 2.1 is Leviathan. It might be 2.2. I'm not exactly sure on which one falls into which patch, but apparently like 2.3 and onward, like almost all of it's voice acted. So it's supposed to be better. And then towards I
assume Leviathan is 2.1.
I think so.
Because the only other primal before that is King Moogle, and that like barely counts.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing so far. That was just a stupid
like
fight.
You gotta kill King Moogle, and it's literally just a primal they've summoned that's a giant Moogle, just like die.
That entire game is just 100% like fan service.
Yeah, I love it.
Through and through. There's just
that
bullshit.
explains why Jesse fucking hates it, because he's had this long abusive relationship with Square Enix.
I mean, I think we all have, right? Since like Final Fantasy.
Most of us had the common sense to stop years ago.
9 onward, 10. I guess I hated 10.
I liked 9.
This is what happens whenever you bring up Final Fantasy. It just turns into.
I played shitloads of 10, and I didn't hate it, but
Really?
I mostly played Blitzball. So
when did you play Final Fantasy 10?
Oh, it was a long time ago. I played it when I was working in the dungeon, as I call it, which is the bottom floor of a Debenhams department store, and I ran the game section. Because no one would go down there, I basically just played Final Fantasy X on the PS2 while I was supposed to be working. So I played most of the game there. My tiny little CRT television. It's terrible.
Me and my brother would always get Final Fantasy on the day of release, and then he would play it while I was at. We would try to see who could go play it more than the other, and then eventually one of us would just be like, "Fuck this! I'm just gonna watch you play it." And so with 10, he won, and I just watched him play through it for the most part. I ended up playing the HD remix of it like a year ago. That game's fucking awful. That game's just the worst game ever. I hated everything. Like
You don't like the laughing cutscene?
No, that was so bad. And like the dialogue and the voice acting is so cringy in that game. I just hated everything.
It really is. I mean, I'll definitely give you that. The voice acting in that game is just disgusting.
Yeah. But yeah, like 14, I'm still having a lot of fun with it. Apparently the latest patch, 5.5 or whatever, got like super Game of Thronesy, where they just like they're just killing characters off. They just don't give a fuck. So I'm interested to see that. Wow. The other thing it's kind of shitty, but I guess is good, is you can't get to the expansion without playing all through the story.
Yeah.
So like if you buy the expansion expecting to jump in and level from 50 to 60, you're not going to be able to unless you do the 5 patches worth of content, which is like 30 plus hours from what I've been told of story stuff, of just like a lot of fetch quests, a lot of like killing primals and shit like that. So
I love the primal fights though. They're so fun.
Yeah, they're cool. And we've still got like we've got Shiva, we've got Ramu, we've got the King of Dragons, whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce because it's like Midsamanger or something. I don't know how to say it. Some weird name. So I'm enjoying it.
That guy.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I want to play it.
Super great.
Let's take a break. We'll come back and we can talk more about the games we've been playing this week. You're watching the Co-Optional Podcast. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Co-Optional Podcast. Welcome.
What'd you just nibble down?
Missy is what these are. These are fucking awesome. They're by the guys.
The chocolates?
Yeah, they're by Stork, who I think are the guys that make Reason. They're like these little
like
sticks.
lipstick holsters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like these little
lipsticks.
sticks. They're fucking delicious. Oh, God.
Dodger's face. What? You're like.
You disapprove of my fucking chocolate imports.
I was just confused because it legit looked like lipstick, and I was like, "Is this like a weird gimmick?" I don't understand.
Yeah,
I didn't see it, so I watched the replay on Twitch. Yeah, that was an interesting face.
Dodger's face was real. That was look.
Someone
that was the
someone
foulest
screenshot
face
that.
I've ever seen. I've seen you make a
Screenshot
lot
that.
of disgusting
Hold on,
faces.
hold on. Turn this into a business opportunity, Dodger. Screenshot that and make it a new emote. It could
Yeah,
be
there you go.
Dex, Dexter or Dex bonus gross or something.
See, I asked. There was one. Someone cut out the face of when I ate the black licorice, the finished licorice that I absolutely fucking hated. I asked Chris to make that an emote last week, and he still hasn't fucking done it. So I've got to go shout at him. It's like,
he's been busy. I've yeah. Sorry.
Oh, it's your fault, right? Okay,
well,
he's not doing the job that I pay him for.
Through
So
other business. Through other
fuck
business.
that. I pay him a salary. You can fuck off.
I don't have anything with him right now, so I don't
know what his excuse is, but I'm gonna go yell at him.
Backwards,
backwards,
dumb.
Haichu! Fucking legit. I love Haichu so much. Strawberry Haichu is amazing. They taste like actual fruits. They're so juicy. They're great.
Oh no, it dropped on the floor and now there's cat hair all over it. Can't eat it.
Sucks.
What a waste. Disgraceful waste.
God.
Jesus Christ.
I looked at Star Trek Online this morning. They've just updated to their new patch, Season 10, which is like, the Iconians are back and killing everything. So I bought a bunch of lockboxes. I am now a space whale. That's what I am. I'm the whale of that damn game. I buy too many...
Like the way that you would use the term whale for
in
an
a
app user?
free-to-play whale? Yes. I'm a space whale.
Oh, I thought they put in the whales from Star Trek.
There should be a mission where you go back in time and grab a whale from the ocean.
That'd be amazing.
Would be great. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'd play that.
How many people play that game?
It's still like the concurrence like 5,000 or 6,000 on Steam. So
do they have is there like a mega server for that?
Yeah, it's just one server.
Okay.
They just run on one server now. It's still alive. Like, it's very much still a playable game. And it's free to play. Currently, there are 4,000 people, according to the Steam log. That's a kind of a big spike, actually, because the new patch is out, so a lot of people are coming back. But yeah, I mean, it's doing fine enough. You know, it's not exactly the most popular MMO ever, but it's still doing fine.
Yeah, I'm streaming a lot of Final Fantasy 14. A lot of other people that play MMOs. Like, I didn't realize people still play The Secret World.
The Secret World had some really interesting stuff with it, like the quest.
Yeah, that was a cool
game.
concept. Yeah, the concepts in that game were cool, but I think it was
the combat was fucking awful. Like,
yeah,
that's what they all say. They're just like, yeah, we don't play for the combat, we play for the story.
Yeah,
and, like,
because
the
quests. So there's a lot of puzzles in the quest. There's a lot of investigation. Like, there's literally a quest that's like something weird's going on in this town. Go investigate. It's not like go. They don't like show you on the map where to go. You gotta find clues and shit.
And apparently they have group versions of that. And that is kind of what a lot of the in-game people enjoy. So, I don't know.
I can imagine that, yeah. What I played in the Secret World, I fucking hated the combat, but it was those exploration areas and the investigation was really cool. Because, of course, it's got, like, a bunch of Cthulhu stuff. Basically, like, every monster story ever is jammed into that game in some way.
Yeah. I played it for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's almost kind of X-Files-y in many ways, which is kind of neat. What are you even doing, Jesse? Other than
making whale noises.
I'm making space
whale noises.
What's in the new patch for Star Wars?
Space whale noise, not a whale.
Bunch of new 5-man. Their equivalent of 5-man dungeons are these queues that you go into for either ground combat or space combat. Everyone does space combat because ground combat's fucking terrible. But so there's like 2 new space combat queues. They put a bunch of new ships in the game. There's a bunch of new quests. They've completely redone the sector space, so you can. It used to be a case of. You would fly, the way you travel in that game is you fly through a sector and you stop at a planet and shit. They've put it all together so the entire quadrant is one big area. So you can just, cool. It's kind of neat. So you can fly through it all. It looks really, really cool. They've done a brand new style of officer that you can get called a pilot, who has like 12 new abilities for your ship. And they've expanded all sorts of other stuff. And they put the new lockbox in. I opened 100 lockboxes this morning.
Is that the equivalent of like a case for CSGO?
Yeah, it's the equivalent of case. Didn't get what I was looking for,
Have you guys seen this? You've probably seen this. This like gigantic trend has now become the thing to do on YouTube where you just open cases.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like
Thanks a lot, creatures.
Yeah. Like,
it's ludicrous.
So many people do this.
It's an even lazier form of unboxing, and I thought unboxing.
It's crazy how lazy
unboxing was the laziest thing you could possibly do on YouTube, and then people started opening virtual packs.
Yeah,
so,
well, I mean,
opening Hearthstone packs, opening.
I was gonna say, I feel like it really took off when Hearthstone came out.
Hearthstone's probably the reason, and then CS followed. You know,
CS has like a rant. Like you don't. There's so much more stuff that you can get in CS. With Hearthstone, it's like you can get every card. Like that's pretty possible.
Yeah.
Like with CS, it's
Very
like
easily.
you'll get a knife or something. It's like, oh my god, this costs $800. Like I've seen.
I
people
will
open up
never
the
understand the market around that is ridiculous. Like, why is
crazy.
that worth 800? Because the market says it is for
Yeah.
some reason.
But
Yeah.
if you make money off of opening things, it lets you afford to open more things, and so people.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, which means it's the fucking gambler's fallacy, isn't it? Like you open a bunch of stuff, sell the stuff to buy more crates, and eventually the house wins. So,
Right. That's why a
but
lot
the
of
thing is, if
people-
you're doing it on YouTube, you make a bunch of money that way, like from
well,
ad revenue. So
You could do it on YouTube, but honestly, I think if you open cases on
Streams.
Twitch, it's more profitable.
Yeah, so
because
some people
then
do
you
watch-
open up tips, and people are like, "Hey, open up
they
another."
give
100
you
cases.
money to open crates.
And
Yeah,
he's like, "Okay, I'll just open this crate."
I can't
And
remember.
they-
It
that's-
was someone who was asking, who was just like taking donations who just spent them on Hearthstone packs. So it's just
Yeah, I
Grendor?
remember that.
Grendor
Grendor?
did it. Yeah,
Always,
yeah.
all the
every day.
time,
Yeah.
every day.
He literally he sponged for fucking. Oh Jesus.
The weird
And
thing
people,
is
and,
that
and then when I told people not to, they gave him more money. I said stop doing that, and they gave him even more money. I'm aware. I'm aware. Proof the internet's full of idiots.
the
Yeah,
weirdest
you're,
part.
You're the problem, viewers.
Yeah, dumb.
Stop
You're the
giving
problem.
people money to open virtual
No,
items.
no. Don't say that. Stop giving Crendor money.
Okay,
I will take your money
of course you will.
and open packs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Packs of
Weirdest
Coors
part
Light.
is
Am I right? Woo!
The streams
Yeah.
that actually
Wow.
open cases will get more viewers than someone playing
Actually playing the
CS:GO.
game.
And then when they start playing CS:GO, you'll see like 4,000 just
They
jump
drop
to
off.
another stream.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's just.
So I don't. There's some weird trends on the internet with CS:GO. I don't know how we got on this topic. Oh, because you were opening cases in Star Trek. Did you
Yes,
get
yeah,
anything good?
yeah. So there's this. I've been building towards like my final build, which I have like I have a basically the rarest ship in the game is one that they gave away briefly with research and development packs, which gave you like a bunch of rare maps to build stuff with, and I got that ship. Like I got lucky, and it's a tier 6 version of if you ever watched Deep Space Nine, the Jem'Hadar fighter, the really cool purple bug-looking thing. It's that, but it's a tier 6 like top end version of it. I have that. And there's a 3-piece set you can get, which basically ups your damage by like 20% across the board. But you need the Jem'Hadar Dreadnought Carrier and the Jem'Hadar Heavy Escort Carrier. The Dreadnought Carrier was easy enough to get. The Heavy Escort Carrier, oh my god, they cost me like so much money because it's from like a lockbox from 2 years ago. So there's a limited amount of them still available. So in order to complete that set, you've got to get a hold of one of them, and I just got it today from opening a bunch of packs and then selling the stuff that I got and buying the escort carrier. So I've reached that point now.
Can you, as a whale, can you reveal how much money has been spent?
I'm not
on-
going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's embarrassing.
Is it
It's-
more than your Hearthstone?
No, it's not more than Hearthstone. I've
Okay,
spent
that's
a
good.
lot.
Phew.
I think I've spent, what, $600, $700 on Hearthstone? I think.
Damn.
Okay.
But the amount of money I've made on Hearthstone from my videos more than makes up for that. So,
TV, the space
Sure.
whale.
but for Star Trek Online, I haven't made any money on it, so I have no excuse.
You should start the trend, man. Opening Star Wars cases.
Oh, there's not enough people play that, so not enough people would even like watch it because like
As if you made whale noises in the background.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Do stereo whale noises.
Ster-
One in each ear. Yeah. There you
Well,
go.
hopefully they don't sound like that because that doesn't sound like a whale at all. Just
No,
stop.
Jesse'll take the left ear. I'll take the right ear.
Okay, all right. Wait, hold
Yeah.
on.
We're
Left?
running in mono, you
Oh,
idiots.
oh.
It's not how whales sound at all. Just terrible.
Sounded great to me.
Please stop.
It's
Yep.
like a creature
When the-
from
Nailed it.
Ugh.
something.
When the whales start beaching themselves to find their true masters, we'll let you know. Right off the coast, they're like,
All
they
right.
land. They're like, we've come to find the master. Dodger and I have to go to the
And
beach.
then Randy Orton
then,
just
like,
runs in and RKO's the whale out of nowhere and runs up. Perfect.
Yep. RKO.
Out of nowhere. I played a bunch of that. I played Hero Generations. I did my video on Hero Generations.
Did you like it?
Pretty good. Yeah. I thought the same thing that you did. Like, there's a lot of space wasted for the UI.
Unused space, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I got to some of the larger levels and I could see why that space is there, but they probably could have designed that a bit better. I lost my save file at one point because I was like really close to death, so I went to the nearest town and I was like 20 fame away from getting the fucking from being able to date and mate with the person that was in that town. So I ended up dying. Like, my entire lineage ended there because I was 20 fame short of being able to mate with that character.
Fame matters.
Yeah, I mean, the combat in that game's kind of basic and shitty, but I kind of get why. I just wish they took away the animations and just did it all on the overworld map because it would waste less time. But I mean, once I start getting to the other worlds, there's all sorts of different things. Like they have different places to go, and you've got to solve a few puzzles here and there. It's pretty good. I had a bunch of fun with it. Like it's a $10 game. You know, I got like 6 hours of fun out of it. I feel pretty satisfied with it. Is
that on early access? What?
No, it's out on Steam as of last week. It's just it's kind of mixed between a bit of a strategy game and just like a roguelike. But yeah, it was pretty good. I played Bloodsports TV, which is actually on the Humble Bundle right now. Which is there's a video of that up on the channel right now. It's a PvE Dota style game. It's like basically hero defense. If you played like anything like Enfos in Warcraft 3 or any other kind of hero defense maps where you defend against wave after wave of enemies, it's that. But it's like a commercial game that does it. It's alright. Like, I wouldn't play too much of it because I play Dota anyway, so why would I play something easier than that? But if you're looking for... If you just want to play with friends and beat up a bunch of AI dudes, it's pretty good for what it is.
It's got an interesting art style to it.
Oh yeah, it's an art style that's based on their previous game, Crater, which unfortunately like never got properly finished. So I think they rip a bunch of assets from that. But it is based in post-apocalyptic Sweden. Wow. Sweden. What the fuck? Post-apocalyptic Sweden, and you launch shark missiles at villages and blow them up.
That's fantastic.
Oh.
It's like the guys are coming from the village to try and defend their village, but they're all a bunch of like Mad Max-esque like crazy people. You kill all of them, and then you annihilate their village with a shark missile, and then you get the next wave, and you buy items and stuff like that. It's all right. It's on the Humble Bundle right now if you want to grab it. Like if you don't want to pay full price for it, I think if you beat the average, which is about $4 right now, you get it. So it's absolutely worth $4, no doubt. It's on the weekly Humble Bundle, so you might want to check it out. So I played a bunch of that. Trying to think what else did I play? Fucking stupid mobile game. WWE Supercard is a mobile game. It's a card collecting. It's basically, you remember Top Trumps? You probably don't.
I think I know a lot about this game because it's been on Giant Bomb before, maybe.
It literally is, like, do you have more stats than your opponent in this match, then you win. But the funny thing is that everyone's represented on a card, and the card walks down the stage. Like, and if it's a big guy, the card kind of plods down the stage like this.
And all you do is wrestling moves. The card, right?
Sorry?
You just choose the card and it goes?
So like it's a best of 3, basically. And it was like, oh, this is a singles match, and you need high charisma, high strength. So you pick like the best card you've got for that. There's like tag team match where if you have 2 tag team guys that synergize with each other, they get a bonus. There's a Divas match. I still can't get anything better than like a grey AJ Lee. So I have a common AJ Lee doing all my Divas matches.
They have like foils, right?
Yeah, there's about 20 rarities. Like it goes all the way up to like WrestleMania plus level of rarity. It's fucking stupid. The funny thing about that game is that there's really like not a reason to spend any money on it because it's very expensive, and you get every win you get to draw 2 cards that you get to keep. So really, you don't actually have to spend money on it, but it's a brainless game. It's completely brainless.
Choose the card and just goes and fights. And
pretty much, yeah. And like you can bring along like a manager with you. You can like get Paul Heyman. I have Mr. Fuji, who gives me like +5 speed to all my dudes, which is kind of cool. And then you get like various rarities of different cards. Like I have a rare Dean Ambrose and like a rare John Cena and stuff like that. But it's just so many rarities. I've never seen a game go that ridiculous for rarities, because they're like, you know what'll keep people playing? If we make another rarity tier. And they just kept doing it. And it just never fucking ends. But I don't know, it's a free game. I play like a couple of rounds of it like every night just for fun. And because you get to draw a couple more cards and stuff like that. I wonder if I can
actually... daily stuff into it?
Sorry?
Like, does it have like daily things? Where
yes, there's like they have events, like they had Miz versus Mizdow, and you had to play for your favorite guy, and you've got a reward at the end, and it counts up all the global score and stuff. So there's dailies. There's like a King of the Ring thing. I'm just grabbing this. There's a guy who's actually done. Oh, people do unboxings of Supercard. Of course they do. Why did I think?
Train, TB. Get on that train.
There we go. Got to start it. Yeah, got to start it.
You can do a dual video. One side of the screen, it's Star Trek cases.
Oh my god, this guy does a face cam on it. He's like 50. This guy's 50. He does a face
You
cam.
can beat him. You can beat him.
No, I can't. He has like 5,000 stats. He's insane. What the fuck? This guy's
It's next level. You found the
Why are you even making random sounds, Jesse? I mean, what the
you
fuck
found
is
the wrestling
wrong with you
whale.
today?
It's not random. It's not
whale.
random.
Yeah.
It's the whale.
It doesn't
Wrestling
sound like
whale.
a whale. Yeah, so this
How
is this
many
guy's
whales do you
video.
know?
He's Biggie Dude 33. He actually gets quite a lot of views on this. And this is how the cards come down the ring. They literally walk down to the ring and do all sorts of other weird shit. And then they fight each other in the ring and do wrestling moves. And then you find out who wins. And then it's like best of 3. It's
So funny.
It's kind of
Yeah,
silly.
I've seen this game. Yep,
Yeah.
I've seen this.
It's
Jeff
pretty
Gerstmann
silly.
plays this a lot.
I love Biggie,
It requires
dude.
no
Holy
skill.
shit.
No skill. Well, I mean, well
is he-
done to this guy. He makes some money off playing Supercard with a freaking camera on him.
I like
so
how
why
he's
not?
commentating over something that he has no
Control over. Yeah.
Control over.
Yeah, I mean, you just pick the card, and then if you have more stats than the other guy, you win. It's that simple. That guy just drew an
God.
uncommon Paul Bearer.
This
apparently.
is so stupid.
It is. It's ridiculous.
Like this.
But for some reason, I was playing it during the breaks while I was watching Raw last night. For some reason, it's just kind of fun to play, and
Do they
I can't.
advertise it on the show?
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
They
God.
have a commercial where Paul Heyman is speaking to a giant card version of Brock Lesnar. Like they have a commercial with that.
That's brilliant.
It's kind of silly. It's a free game on iOS. It literally requires no skill to play whatsoever. I don't know why I keep playing it. I wouldn't even say it's like that Final Fantasy Record Keeper because that actually takes some skill. This takes 0 skill at all. But there's no reason to spend any money on it, like I said, because opening card packs in that game is so fucking earth-crushingly expensive that there's no reason to do it. So you get 2 cards after every win and 1 card after every loss, so you just do that.
Huh.
And
Did you play that
eventually level
fighting
your
game?
cards up. Oh, the WWE fighting game, Immortals?
Yeah, wasn't that actually good? Or half decent?
Relative to what? Like,
to mobile games?
well, relative to mobile games, yeah, it's like, it's got an energy bar, though. Like, it's the same as Mortal Kombat 10 on iOS is the same as WWE Immortals, just with Mortal Kombat characters. And basically, you just tap the screen, and then when it says slide, you slide, and when it says slash, you slash. And it's got you start off with guys that have the same moveset as the main characters, but they're just random dudes. And you level up eventually to get gold versions of the characters, and then you unlock the other characters. But there's a stamina bar on it, so you have to stop playing for a while when the stamina bar refills and stuff. I don't like it at all. Some people really like those because I think it's Injustice on iOS and the Mortal Kombat game and Immortals all play pretty much exactly the same because they're all by the same developer. They're just kind of reskins.
Sure.
But I hate them. I
Yeah,
absolutely
anything with a
hate
stamina bar is kind of blah.
them. Yeah. I mean, the stamina bar in Record Keeper is fair. Like, I've tried to burn that stamina bar out. I can't. You get so much stamina in that game, it's not even worth it. But in games like that, you run out of stamina and you have to either buy more stamina or wait. It's like, yeah. It's a nasty business model. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
Plus, the games just aren't all that fun. There's no skill involved. It's just you hammer the screen and you put like 2 fingers on to block, and then you slash up when it tells you to slash up, and you do a special move, and that's it. It's not fun, I'm afraid. But then again, how else would you do a fighting game on a touch screen?
Yeah, isn't there like a skill ceiling on mobile games?
I'd say so. I'd say there's a pretty low
Can't you
ceiling.
only swipe so many times?
Yeah. And that's what they've done with a lot of games. Like, if they take a traditional game on iOS and they want to turn it into an iOS game, they remove all the skill and they put a stamina bar in it and they make it all about leveling up. And that's all it is. So it's basically one giant grind until you get, here's a silver version of this character, here's a gold version, here's a platinum version, here's a super platinum WrestleMania RKO out of nowhere version, you know? That's their entire business model. And they rely on you getting so sick of it that you'll eventually spend microtransactions to get a bit ahead. That's their business model. It's horrible.
It's silly because there are so many games on the market now that it's like people aren't going to just give in and pay money. They're going to go find a different game.
Yeah.
Right.
iOS, there's lots of good iOS games. Those aren't... I mean, I appreciate what they did with Immortals. Like, it's technically competent, but the game itself has so little to it, and it's so fucking boring to play. I just don't want to play it. And I like wrestling a lot. And I'd say I play Supercard, which is completely skillless, but at least Supercard isn't demanding money from me every 5 minutes. And the gameplay, I just get to watch the cards fight, and then I get more cards. It's like, it's a satisfying time waster, you know?
Your cards fight while you're not playing, right?
Yeah, in the King of the Ring mode, you make a King of the Ring team, and they'll like go through the rounds and stuff without you being there. So you can earn more stuff that way.
I find that stuff kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just a lot of iOS games that try to interpret proper games just end up being fucking shitty. So yeah, I played that for some reason. Don't know why. Trying to think if there's like anything else. Did I play anything else? I think that's about it. Yeah, just GTA and Mortal Kombat, really. And, of course, we've already talked about those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I played a bit of Halo Spartan Strike. That's exactly the same as Halo Spartan Assault. It's the top-down Halo shooter where, basically, I'm pretty sure Microsoft is doing this to torment PC gamers. Because they're saying, yeah, you want a Halo game? We'll give you the mobile game. Like, fuck you.
Oh, yeah, I've seen, this has been ads on Twitch. I've seen this ad, this stupid little gold Master Chief, 1 billion times somewhere.
Really? It's a $5 top-down twin-stick shooter, basically. It's alright for what it is, but you know that everyone's just pissed off that they're not getting a proper Halo game.
Yeah.
Right.
It's still okay, but it's like, it's the worst Halo game that exists. So why would you play it, you know?
True.
Yeah, it's a bug of that. I'm not even going to do a video on that. It's just, I have nothing to say about it. Literally, you could go watch my Halo Spartan Assault video, and it's exactly the same. They even have like
a full-on release. I thought it was just a.
Well, it's $5. It's not expensive,
okay.
But they have exactly the same special weapons. They have exactly the same skulls that you can pick to give additional challenge. They literally just made another game with exactly the same engine, exactly the same systems. They added vehicles to it, but that was all they did. But hang on, actually, I'm pretty sure Spartan Assault had vehicles as well, so they didn't even add that. So I don't know.
Gotta keep that IP relevant, man.
Yeah. Yep. Lovely. I don't know what it is about Microsoft hating PC gamers, but they definitely don't want to give them Halo anytime soon. Unless, of course, you're in Russia, you get Halo Online, which is a free-to-play version that apparently a bunch of people have modded to remove all the microtransactions and run on private servers. Which...
Wait, is that like a full FPS Halo?
It's Halo 3, basically. Yeah, It's the multiplayer of Halo 3. They put it out in Russia as Halo Online, and then a bunch of people got super pissed, modded it, took the microtransactions out, ran it on private servers, which is basically piracy, let's be honest. Like, if you're bypassing the microtransaction system, it's a bit like, well, how can you steal a free game? Well, you remove the microtransactions, which are supposed to make the money. That's pretty much doing it. So, yeah, It's piracy. But ultimately, I have only limited sympathy for Microsoft because, holy fucking shit, bring out the goddamn Master Chief Collection. Or any Halo game. Anything. I'll take ODST at this point. Just give me fucking anything to play on PC.
They might be waiting for Windows 10 to launch so that you can only play it on Windows 10, and that's how they.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't hate that too much because Windows 10's looking pretty good for gamers. I mean, honestly, you want DirectX 12, so you're probably going to run Windows 10. But so far for Windows 10, the only thing they've announced is Halo Legends, I think. Not Halo, sorry, Fable Legends. That 4v1 co-op game. Which actually
that was
you guys played that, right?
That was at E3 last year, right?
Yeah, Jesse, didn't you play that? The one with the Dungeon Master? Yeah, Dodger played it.
I don't remember.
It was like okay.
Good contribution, Jesse. Thank you.
Doesn't like one guy like
I don't to be honest.
Dungeon Master or some crap?
Yeah, one guy's
it's that
Dungeon
same
Master.
format.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's quite a few games doing that. There's D&D Sword Coast that's doing that, which actually looks pretty fun. And the Fable game looks pretty fun. Of course, we played Dungeon Land a while ago that did that.
A long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame that was buggy as shit, because that was hilarious. I loved that game. I think that was mostly because I just got to do the voice and be evil, but, you know.
Yeah, you were a good evil mastermind.
I was annoying as fuck to everybody. It was great. But ultimately, again, it's like, look, Microsoft, please, the last Halo you released on PC, bearing in mind that game was originally supposed to be for PC until you bought it and made it an Xbox game. was Halo 2, which only ran on Windows Vista and was a shitty port in the first place. And it's like, ever since then, you've said, nope, PC gamers don't get to have it. Like, we got a shitty version of Gears of War 1 a year later than it came out, and then you didn't give us that either. So, you're gonna have to forgive people, I guess, if they're feeling a little bit pissed off at Microsoft right now. And then when they give an online version with microtransactions to Russia only, that's probably the way to piss people off even more. So I'm not surprised that people did. I don't endorse it, because it's still piracy, ultimately, but I understand why they did it. If they don't have a legal way of playing what they want to play, they're going to find another way. It's a service problem. It's just like Gabe Newell said, piracy is a fucking service problem. If you don't offer what they want, they'll find a different way to get it. And that'll be a way that involves you not getting any money. And I think people would still play Halo. People are like, oh, well, who would play Halo? You kidding me? Master Chief Collection came out right now, it'll be #1 on Steam immediately. You know it.
Yeah.
It's like people saying, why do you play Grand Theft Auto when it came out 2 years ago? I don't know, but it sold 1 million copies in a fucking day on PC. So you might want to think about that just a little bit. Just a bit. Oh, man. Okay. Dodger, what have you been playing this week? Obviously, you two both went to Poland. Do you want to do the Poland thing?
Well, I mean, we can't really say anything about
Oh, you're under
Witcher
NDA?
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so much for that, then.
But yeah, we did that.
Great. That's awesome.
We did that for the whole week.
Yeah.
I played Grim Fandango for the first time ever in my life.
Did you get stuck?
I did get pretty stuck.
Yeah.
I streamed it. I had a very strict, you do not tell me what to do unless I ask a specific question policy.
Right.
So, the beginning of the game, I did all right. But, like, there were definitely a couple of times where I had to be like, do I need to be in the office for the next part? You know, vague questions so I could still, try to kind of figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I understand why people find that game frustrating. There were a couple of times where I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Yeah. Well, it uses very old school point and click logic, which is something that sort of doesn't exist anymore, really, in games. Like, I think maybe Jesse can tell me, a Book of Unwritten Tales, like, how easy a point and click is that? Like, versus something like Grim Fandango.
I've been told this by many people, so I'm just gonna assume it's true. I feel like my sweet spot in gaming is point and clicks.
Okay.
Like, I'm very, very good at them and figuring out the, like, faulty logic in them.
Yes.
But there was a puzzle that I just did that involved finding the stuff you needed in order to make a magic, like, fireplace portal appear. Right. And I thought that there was a lot of it that, like, the process of getting to it involved a lot of tiny steps that didn't necessarily make sense, but if you listen to what people said, you'd figure it out. So, like, there's one part where the troll, who's basically like a giant troll but treats you like an internet troll, is bitching about coins stuck in doors. And so my thought process was, I'll just go and, find a coin in a door. And really it was like, go stick a coin in it. Like, it was easy. Like, it was one of those things that's like, it's there, you just need to figure it out. I think Grim Fandango is not that. I think it's definitely an old school game where some of the puzzles make no sense. Like, 0 sense. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah.
Yeah. My biggest, like, breakdown was there was an item that you could only see, like, on the desk that I was looking at. There was an item that I could only see if I was coming from a specific angle. And I didn't realize that it was an item that was, like, clickable. So I kept, like, being near it, and everybody in chat was like, oh my God. Like, they couldn't say anything. So I was just like, I don't know.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Someone screen cap that. That's an emote right there.
Perfect.
Oh, that was beautiful.
You were frozen
Welcome
on
back.
that for like
Welcome
10
back.
seconds.
Nope.
No,
Now she's thinking.
She's gonna drop.
Now
isn't
she's
she?
thinking.
There she goes.
Man, what is the what is that? Dex bonus cool? Like, what would that be?
I don't think that would be Dex bonus cool.
This one would be like the this one is oh really Dex oh really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this one that's like, just call it normal Dodger.
Dex bonus dodge. That's the
Dex bonus derp, more like it, I think.
Derp. There you go. There you go. Go derp.
I'm trying to get her back in the call right now. I don't know what it is. Dodge is having some weird issues today with Skype. She got RKO'd out of nowhere.
Yeah, this is where you edit the RKOs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back.
I got another emote for you. It's business.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah?
we screenshotted the you had the freeze frame where you were just kind of going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We got
great.
Dodge derp. It's Dodge
Yeah.
derp.
Yeah,
Pretty
Dodge
great.
Derp. I like it.
Pretty great.
What was I saying? Oh, my favorite part about Grim Fandango is the cutscenes in the remastered version, because most of it is like the original stuff,
Yes.
but then they'll like remake faces and have like a better quality face like track with the body, and sometimes it looks super weird. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't work at all. It's so funny.
It's not a great remaster. Like, of all... considering, like, some of the remasters, like, say, Last of Us or Homeworld, for instance, it's not even close to being that good. Like, but
Yeah,
what's more important is it actually runs, which the original doesn't. So...
It does run.
Grim Fandango.
I do wish that, like, the art styles meshed a bit better in those moments where they're like trying to mix the two and be like, all right, this person is saying a thing, so we'll like give him a new head that looks better, but his body's gonna be pixelated and fucking weird looking, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
that looks weird. That doesn't work for me.
Yeah. It's like, you really wanted an Oddworld new and tasty out of that, really, instead of what they really did with it, which was just they half-arsed it. Yeah, they made it work with modern operating systems, and it's still a good game, but it's a half-assed remaster. Like, it's not even remotely unfair to say that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I played Armello on the plane finally because
Okay.
Jesse had
What do you
been
reckon to
talking it
that?
up so much. That game's fun. I won with prestige.
Oh.
I got real prestigious.
Okay.
That's how I won too. It's easy. Like that's the easiest way to win.
Yeah, I felt like because I played as the wolf, and I only took quests that gave me more attack power. So I was like, eventually I'm going to be able to kill that king. But then because I was leading in prestige, I always had to choose the bad thing that was going to happen on the map. And I kept trying to choose something that would like do okay for me. Like, oh, bad things are going to spawn at the villages. And I was like, cool, I don't need villages. That's fine. Like, spawn
But they
at the
give you
villages.
gold.
Yeah, but I didn't use gold for anything really. I just did quests and got real buff and
Whatevs.
stuff. But yeah, that game was fun. I don't know. I don't know about the replayability for me really. Like I don't know that it's a
Because
game
it's
that I
game
would want to play a
with
bunch.
friends. Like I feel like it's a great board game
Yeah.
that you would
For
play
sure.
with friends, but but I think that's the case with most board game things. Like how many times are you gonna play that by yourself before you're like, all right, well this was fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But yeah, it's cool. I like the art style a lot. And it's still in early access, I believe. So it can improve. So there was that.
Yeah, I'll probably play that when it comes out. That sounds like it's right up my alley.
Yeah.
yeah.
I probably better not say that because the dev might get upset and stick my tweet to his fridge or something.
You know what you should say to you know what you should say to devs from now on TV when they're like, I hate TotalBiscuit. Thank God he doesn't like my game. Just go, whoa.
I was considering
Make a
just doing
Link
a
it to
video of me in the bath with just money raining down on me and just like replying with that.
Oh,
but,
and then going, whoa, as money rains down on
Yes,
you.
I am a
Have
whale. I am
sounds.
the whale. Like, look at all this. It's like, look at what you could have won, you know? But then you had to be a
You could have
prick.
been the guy in the tub.
Yeah, you could have
And
been that
instead,
guy.
you're
Why
the
can't we
angry
have
guy on
been
the
friends?
internet.
Oh, it's why can't we be friends playing in the background? But you just go, whoa. It's like why
And then
can't
just money
we
falls
be
down from
friends?
the sky.
Why can't we? And you're just like, whoa.
It's such a horrible combination of things, and I love it.
Oh, dear
Print it.
God.
Print it, mail it.
Jesse, what have you been playing?
Oh, I mean, literally just played Witcher 3 stuff. Or I guess Wild Hunt. It's not
Which
3
you're
now.
not allowed to talk about.
Well, yeah, we can't talk about anything.
That's
one
useful.
thing. Well, I mean, like,
I mean, like one thing that I could say is they let us play 12 hours of that game.
Wow.
12 hours. I will say this.
Well,
Dodger and I
gold
took
while you guys
two
were out there, right?
entirely.
Yeah, it did.
What now?
It went gold while you guys were out there, so I imagine.
Yeah, while we were
done.
out there, I will say this: Dodger and I took two entirely different approaches. Dodger legit played through the story like a boss and was like the furthest of anyone there, and I was like, "Eff it, I'm gonna go run and find random shit and see like what." Because I was like, let's see what your world's like, game. Because you know me, I'm gonna play it anyway, so I'll experience the story later. But I was like, let's see what this shit's like. And so we had two totally different like gameplay experiences, and I think we both had a lot of fun. So thumbs up. That's all I can say.
Can you say what platform you played it on?
PC.
PC with the
controller. Yeah, they wanted us to play with the controller. I don't know why. I was mad at them because the different sigils you can use on keyboard is so much easier. Just like you press a button and it activates, and this is like, hold on, let me go to my trigger and I was like, ugh. And I'm sure there's a quicker way of doing it. I didn't know. I hate controllers with games like that. It drove me crazy. But whatever, whatever. Yeah, it's pretty solid. I can't say anything. So
Sure.
I did finally beat Spirits of Xanadu, which I still think is like a crazy effing game.
Oh, you beat it?
That?
Yeah,
You was
I
telling
beat
me
it.
about it on the trip.
I don't even know how to describe this game. It's set in futuristic 1983, where and the graphics look like early 2000s, like polygonal like graphics, but it's a game where you are a space technician, I suppose, and you go to a spaceship called the Xanadu, and you get there, and there are 3 crew members, and all 3 crew members are missing. The spaceship's like shutting down on itself, and it's like a psychological horror game, but not particularly like, ooh, in your face scary, but very much like shit's going down and you don't know what. And so it's like as you explore, you discover more and more crazy stuff about what's going on. There's weird, like, either luchador or like some kind of mask that if you randomly find...
Well, back to wrestling again.
Yeah, well,
Like,
everything comes back to wrestling in the end.
It looks like a luchador mask. It's crazy. And this like you randomly find them. Like you have to repair the ship and do things. The robots that are on board the ship sometimes will come after you and try to kill you, and sometimes won't. And you have a gun that you can fight them with, but for the most part, it's just about sneaking around, sneaking past them, or setting up traps to like stop them from doing shit. And then you explore and discover. You listen to audio diaries, and you like get reports, and you try to figure out what's going on. And my favorite part of the entire game is there's one section where you go into an office room, and there's a printout of an audio log that's like, so it's like the text, word to text, but it's done so in that really crappy way that, if you like talk to Siri on your iPhone, it like comes out. So it's all garbled, but like you can sort of figure it out. But one of the amazing moments is realizing like one of the things that it's talking about is something huge, but you just don't realize it at first. Like, I don't want to give anything away, but even when you die, you don't die. Like, it's real trippy as balls. Like, it's a really interesting game.
I feel like
the
that's giving something away.
What?
I feel like that's a pretty big giveaway.
Oh, well, I think the thing that is really interesting is every time you find a tape, it's like 1/8 of a section of a song, but it's like an old timey like Japanese song. So it's like, wow, wow, wow. It's very weird.
Like on a shabby said.
How long is this game?
It's on like an old cassette, so you have to like rewind it and then play it, and you always expect it to be something different, but it never is. And then it's a very interesting game, and it's it's definitely something that I would say if you like not jump scary, but like games where you feel really uncomfortable the entire time. Straight up cool game. So it's not like you'll never see a scare cam guy playing it because it wouldn't scare them, and it's not necessarily scary, but it is kind of like a cool
creepy
game. Yeah. I think that the ending, it's one of those things where it's like, we leave it to you to interpret. But I have an interpretation of the ending that I think is legit, because there's pages you can find like in the game. The captain goes nuts and starts ripping up pages out of a book, but the book is about a dude who is the like prince of the automatons, and so it's pretty cool. So yeah, it's not graphically heavy. If you're looking for a game that's like super graphic, it's not. It's all about just exploring and story and stuff.
How long is that game?
Oh,
roughly?
I think because I did a lot of exploring, 6 hours is how long I played.
Oh, okay.
But it could be. Then if you just rushed. Maybe it could be longer because I'm not sure if I missed anything. Like there's some parts where I just didn't want. I was like, nope, not going in there right now because there's like 50 robots walking around. Like I'll just go the other way. So yeah.
All right.
I played Kerbal Space Program for the first time.
Oh, interesting.
Oh
okay,
my
goodness.
I played it for the very, very first time, and I had to look up a walkthrough. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I looked up a walkthrough, and it was like, how to fire your first spaceship. And I was like, cool. So I fired my first rocket, and it like went up, like 4,000, and then it fell back down. And I was like, that was fun. And then it was like, how to orbit the planet. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. Holy shit. It took me it's like a 30-minute process. And I was constantly pausing because it was like, now you're going to press X to cut all rocket fuel. And then once you see the apopsy hit 20,000, you're going to then bring your thrust up to half. And then wait until you're about 10 seconds away, and then cut all fuel again. And I was like, what the shit? And then eventually I was orbiting, right? I was like, I did it. I fucking did it. And I was like, but be warned, because if you're not orbiting at a point where both high points are at 75,000, then you will burn up in the gravitational
Eventually
pull.
come
And I was
back
like,
down to Earth, yeah.
No! So I was like trying to get it, but I couldn't get the orbit to change at all. And I was like looking at so many different walkthroughs. I was like, why can't I change the orbit? It was
if you think that's hard, wait to the next level of that. Like having gone through the same thing you've gone through and still being like, what the shit? The next is, all right, now we need to slingshot you to the moon, which is okay. So you have to get that, but then you have to keep it up and then fire at the right moment where your trajectory launches you towards the moon. Right. To the point where you hit the moon, but you hit its gravitational field, so it swings you back around, or else you blast off into fucking space. Like, space travel, fuck that shit.
Yeah, turns out space travel's tough.
Yeah, no wonder scientists are all about, nope.
Can't you go to, you can go to other planets in that game, right? Like,
you can.
You can go to
you can even go to the sun if you want to.
Well, I mean, the moon's like the first thing. Well, I suppose the first thing you try and do is get a rocket into orbit. Then try and get the rocket back and not blow it up on re-entry.
Yeah.
Then maybe try and get it to the moon and other stuff like that,
I never did
a game, at least when I played it, it was a game about setting your own goals. I don't know if they've got missions or anything now. It's been a long time.
I set my own goal of making something.
There's a career mode? Okay.
I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on in it, so I played in sandbox mode.
Yeah, that's what I did. I just made a big explosion. I was like, yep, that's a cool game.
I just tried to make the stupidest looking rockets imaginable and see how high I could get them before they exploded.
Exactly.
That was fairly fun.
The best part is when you take the stabilizer things off and your rocket just kind of wobbles a little bit and you hit go. That's the best part of that game.
It's just...
Yeah. It's happened before.
I mean, that game's got a lot going for it. Obviously, it's ludicrously popular and for a very good reason, because it's a physics-based sandbox, only it's about space. Yeah. So make the stupidest looking rocket you can, try and get it into orbit is enough for people to get a lot of fun out of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's out soon, isn't it? It's coming out of early access the next few days.
Wait, what? I'm sorry?
It's been in early access for 2 years.
Soon. It's been in
early
access.
Yeah,
it's been in early access for a long time. I think it's the 26th or 27th. I think it's coming out.
Is NASA still involved with that in some form?
Not a clue.
That'd be amazing.
27th. 27th is when Kerbal Space Program leaves early access. So if you were if you were waiting for that, then that's when it's going to happen. There's quite a few things that come out in early access. We just got Killing Floor 2 and Trine 3 come out in early access today.
I didn't even know Trine 3 came out today.
I'm not touching Trine 3 in early access. I think Trine 3 is a really strange choice for early access because that game's it's a very linear game. I can't see why you'd want to play bits of it instead of just waiting for the whole thing.
I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, I'm not touching it. Right,
Killing
Floor,
when
fine.
It's early access about it.
Well,
about Trine 3.
Well, they haven't done yet.
So just giant.
You mean what can you play?
Yeah. I'll look on it.
I'm looking at it right now. It's how is the full version planned to differ from the early access version? The early access version has the first 2 maps playable at launch. The full version will be significantly larger. We look for 7 hours of total playable content for a first play with the full version. So it only has the first 2 levels. The full version aims to have fully working online co-op, level editor, that's cool, and special challenge levels in addition to the levels that are connected to the background story of the game. It will also run a lot better. The current state of the early access version, single player, local co-op, online co-op, but it's a bit buggy. And all playable characters have their basic abilities, but they're not fully done yet. And there are performance problems. And as a result, it's, again, a very weird choice. Like, don't get me wrong, I love, like, Trine 1 and 2, incredible games. And I have no doubt this one's going to be good too. But early access seems like the complete wrong model for this game. Literally, because it's just a linear game. Like,
and it's also like Trine 3. Like, I could understand if it was for an IP that was like Trine 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for the third game, it's like, come on, guys. Why do you?
Yeah,
well, I mean, in the third game,
they've done a good job with the first 2. I'm not too concerned. I feel like they don't.
Yeah, it'll end up being good.
Early access.
I mean, they are testing out. Like, there are some scenes where you actually go full 3D instead of it being a 2D game.
Yeah,
so there's some interesting stuff there. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful,
really
it's gorgeous. Good. I mean,
gorgeous looking game.
Yeah. I mean, Trine always has been, but I just think the choice of early access is very strange for that game and doesn't really make a huge degree of sense, frankly. Whereas KSP, which was a sandbox game to begin with, and then they used the 2 years to figure out what people wanted and then just added that to the game. I think that makes a lot more sense. Putting like a strictly linear game, even Darkest Dungeon is probably a good example of a game that it would have been nicer if that game just came out straight up. Right. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed my time with the early access game, but I think I'm going to enjoy my time with the full game less because of early access.
Yeah, I might not even revisit it on launch, to be honest. Just because I put like 20 hours into that game. Like, I did everything in that game in early access, and I don't really want to do it all over again just to see like a handful of new things. So
yeah, so we'll see. I'm not massively keen, frankly, on the early access model for most games. I think that, again, for multiplayer stuff like Killing Floor 2, it's fine. But you're still going to be more bored of Killing Floor 2 by the time it comes out as a result. So for the vast majority of games, I think early access just isn't... It's not a good model, ultimately.
Yeah. Apparently, on the topic of Killing Floor 2, apparently they don't have enough servers right now, and so...
there's so many people getting in?
Yeah. People are having a really tough time playing, because they had like double the amount of expected people trying to play it right now for the amount of servers that they had ready for it. So there's a lot of issues.
Yeah, well, I don't even know why they didn't expect a lot of people to come in. I mean, not only did they give it to high-profile streamers, but we did a preview video that has almost 500,000 views.
Yeah, so, people were super amped for it.
Yeah,
and I did not even expect.
We had a massive reaction to it because we haven't done a lot of preview stuff lately. And we definitely haven't done a lot of stuff with the devs lately. So I was like, how is this going to be received? And it's been like, it's not quite as popular as the GTA 5 port report, which people inexplicably watched a bunch of, but it was a really well-received video. People fucking loved it. So I don't know why they weren't expecting a lot of people to come and play. I'm actually going to let's have a look at Steam charts right now and find out how many people are trying to play it.
Oh, okay. That's number one in purchased, I think.
Yeah, Killing Floor 2...
Or top sellers.
Oh, Steam Charts is currently erroring out. That sucks. Okay, so... I couldn't tell you. You know the weird thing is, the original Killing Floor still has 1,800 people playing it as of an hour ago, concurrently. That game's been out for fucking almost 10 years.
I don't know how I never played that game. Like,
I haven't either.
The amount of reverence for that game when I was playing Killing Floor 2, like... People were talking about it as if it was their their firstborn child. Like,
it's just a really good horde mode game. Like, if you like horde modes, if you like killing zombies or Zeds, you know.
If you like killing.
If you like blowing shit up with really fun guns, that game is apparently Killing Floor 2, because chat crashed it, 20,000 people are currently playing Killing Floor 2. So, yeah, that's huge. It's a really successful early access launch. But, I mean, the original Killing Floor, it got a lot of content. It's had a lot of mods for it. So it's been out for, like, I think 7 years. And if I recall correctly, the original version, which was a mod for Unreal Tournament, has been out even longer than that. And that game is still popular and still being played. So, turns out, if you make a really good game with a really interesting gameplay loop, people just keep playing it forever. There you go.
There you go.
Which I guess is why they release a new version of COD every year, because people get very quickly bored of it.
Yep.
Which is actually sounding true.
You know, you're talking about whatever that online Halo Online. Did you see Call of Duty Online in like China?
Oh, the Chinese one? Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of companies are making these kind of cut down versions because
Yeah, it was
China,
weird.
yes, they have PCs. In fact, a lot of people have PCs, but they're not very high spec. So a lot of companies are seeing an emerging market, and they're releasing lower spec versions of the game that are based on microtransactions for the Chinese market. And apparently it's working pretty well for the most part.
Yeah, it's basically like Call of Duty 2 ported into an online thing.
Yeah. It's using like an old engine. They're doing There's a few other games they've been doing that with as well. So that's been working out pretty well. Oh, speaking of another game I played, actually. I played a bunch of Dirty Bomb, which used to be
I
called...
played that when it first came out. Or when
Yeah.
it first premiere, whatever the fucking
Yeah, they
thing
renamed it
was.
to Extraction and then showed it at a big booth at PAX, and then they renamed it again back to Dirty Bomb because Extraction's a really boring name.
I thought it was because of legal shit.
There could have been, but Extraction's also a really boring name. So I'm kind of glad they changed it back to Dirty Bomb. I'm having fun with that. But then again, like, I'm an apologist for Brink, and a lot of people really hated
Same
Brink.
here.
I thought
really
Brink was
liked
good.
it.
I thought it was really good.
I think we both played it a lot when Brink came out.
Yeah, Dirty Bomb's a free-to-play game. And so far, their free-to-play model's really good. So they start you off with like 6 or 7 character classes. Then they've released one more character class, which is like $10 to buy. But what you can do is you can get cards, and these cards have loadouts, which either have different weapons and different passive abilities and stuff, and there's like 4 rarity levels. But you can't buy the cards. They can only use in-game currency only. So you earn the in-game currency, and you buy a case, and you open the case, and the case has a loadout card in it. And it's anywhere from lead all the way to gold. And it'll either have different weapons with it, or it'll have different abilities, like it'll be like 45% quicker weapon switching, or 20% more AoE on grenade, or something like that. And you can trade up, so you can get a bunch of your lead cards, and you can spend a small amount of in-game currency to trade them up to like an iron card, and then a bronze card, and then a silver card, and stuff like that. But you can't buy the cases with real money. Now, if they stay like that, and they release like that, I think it's going to be a pretty good business model. If they let you start buying it, that's going to suck. Like that will be pretty bad. And because, you know, people with gold loadouts, you get the same weapon. It doesn't like do more damage. Like there's no loadout which says, hey, you do more damage on bullets. But you just might get a different weapon with a different attachment. So there'll be like I have a character loadout which has a fully automatic assault rifle, but then there's a 3-round burst one. But it's got a bunch of like other little passives that I like with it. So I actually really like the game. I think the gunplay in that game is really nice. It takes a good few shots to kill someone, so it's quite skillful. Aim down sights isn't as big a deal. Like, it's a much faster moving game than most. The character classes are really fun. And it's an objective mode based game, so it's multi-stage objectives. One of them is like, the first thing you've got to do is you've got to blow up this blockade, like to open this gate. And then you've got to set C4 on a blocker carriage on the train line. You blow up the blocker carriage, and then this giant train comes crashing through the level, kills everyone in the way of it, by the way, crashes through the gate, and then you've got to go and grab a data core and take it to the helicopter.
It's very RTCW.
Yes. I mean, it's by the same company. So they're kind of doing the same thing. There's another one where you got to escort a kind of tank, and then the tank blows a hole in the wall of the research lab, and you've got to steal the drug samples from out the research lab. It's really good. I like it a lot. It's a really fun shooter.
Too. They did a good job, like, making the characters have a little bit of personality to them. And
they've got a lot of voice acting with them. Yeah, I like playing Aura, who is, she's got the, well, you can't say African-American because that's incorrect. She's got the sort of Londoner accent that a lot of, like, people that either came from Africa who are, like, or second or third generation African immigrants sound like. So she's got that really cool accent going for her. And then there's pretty much everyone's English. I think there's a Japanese guy and a French guy as well. But the whole thing's set in nuclear fallout-infested London, so everyone sounds English.
Yeah, I played Skyhammer because he has the airstrike, and it's just kind of broken.
Oh yeah, well that's on a 2-minute cooldown.
Airstrike an area and just kill a ton of people.
Yeah, I've got a good Skyhammer that has the 3-round burst rifle. I like the sniper. He's pretty cool.
Is that Vasily?
Vasily, yeah. He's got the snipers. You've got to be pretty skilled to snipe in that game. Headshot is a one-shot kill, but if body shots is like 2 shots. And people move pretty fast in that game, so snipers aren't dominant or anything. And Aura's got a great shotgun, so I play her as a medic and go and just like shotgun people at close range. And I've got the new character has an SMG and a turret and stuff like that. It's pretty good.
Were there a lot of people playing when you played?
Yeah, there's a decent amount. It's currently, I think it's a buy-in closed beta. You can either get an invite or you can buy in with a mercenary pack, which was like $20 or whatever, which gives you like a bunch of currency and all the characters and stuff. So I bought in on...
It's open now, like you can play right now. Yeah. I might play some of that this week because I enjoyed it when I played it last time.
It's good. The only complaint I have about Dirty Bomb at the moment is that for some reason the menus before you go into the game feel really laggy. And I don't know why. Like they almost feel like they're running at really low frame rate, but they're not. So I'm not sure why that is.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But the gameplay's totally fine. It runs at like 144 FPS and sounds really, really good. And it plays great. So yeah, Dirty Bomb, assuming they don't fuck up the business model, I think is going to be like an FPS that I play quite a bit of. Because I played a shit ton of Brink, and I played a shit ton of Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and Wolfenstein Enemy Territory, which all had those objective mode games. I love that. It's so much better. I mean, like,
Nexon's done pretty good, so I can't think of something that they've severely
Nexon's
fucked up.
Didn't Nexon basically kill Vindictus and a bunch of other games?
Maybe I'm just thinking of something else. Maybe they did.
Vindictus! I remember when that came out.
Yeah, they basically didn't update it. It's infested with hackers and shit, and there's all sorts of other problems. They made Combat Arms as well, which is again a game that was infested with hackers. So they published that. So I don't know. I don't think Nexon is a great publisher.
Maybe they don't have a good track record. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not massively keen on Nexon. I think Nexon had Star Trek Online for a while before it went to Arc. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But yeah, Nexon is not a great company. So I'm a bit worried for when it comes out, but right now it's pretty good. So hopefully Nexon doesn't fuck it up. That's all I can say. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back after the break, we're going to be looking at news, which is mostly going to be us complaining about Star Wars Battlefront, I imagine. We'll do a Star Wars themed episode. Why not? Watching a Co-Optional podcast. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-Optional podcast for the final 45 or so minutes of the show. So, biggest news this week is probably everything to do with Battlefront, which has reached a massive fever pitch online after the release of the trailer, which claimed to be in-engine but showed no actual real gameplay, so was effectively worthless. I hate it when they do that. It's like, guys, it's in-engine. Yeah, but it's pre-fucking rendered, so it doesn't matter. You showed no gameplay. There's no way in a million fucking years is it going to look like that on PlayStation or anything like... I mean, for one thing... The trailer is higher resolution than the gameplay. So I went to the... I fucked up that sentence completely. I was like, this is going to be great. And then I ran out of steam halfway through. That sucks. I went to the Sony website.
Now you know what it's like to be me every time I talk in this podcast.
Now, Sony has been promoting the hell out of Battlefront, which probably means they're going to get exclusive content. So fuck you for that. And I went to their official page on the PlayStation website. You know what it said? 720p. As in the game, according to that website, is going to be running at 720p. Now, if I recall correctly, the trailer was 1080. So not only is the trailer not representative of the actual gameplay, it's higher resolution than it's actually going to be on the Sony platform in the first place. So, I don't know what the hell they're doing with that. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, it looked cool. Great. But it doesn't fucking matter because you didn't tell me how it played. You didn't show me how it played. You just showed me.
It was kind of a
it was bullshit.
You think they're saving that for E3? Because it
probably
it felt a little out of place to see that. I mean, Can we just roll Jim Sterling's video and just?
Yeah, Jim Sterling did a 7-minute video claiming it's like, why I think I've kind of become a cynical prick, but he's totally right. Like, it's EA. It's EA. So bear that in mind. And lately, EA has not been doing incredibly well. Like, at latest release, of course, Battlefield Hardline. A lot of people don't like it. I personally thought it was completely pointless.
It was,
It's like, why am I not just playing Battlefield 4? It could have been a DLC, a standalone or something like that. EA, God knows what they're going to do with the DLC. There'll be at least 4 DLC, probably 6 DLC packs for this fucking game. God knows what they're going to cut out of the game. We already know there was a big hoo-ha about the fact that there's not going to be space battles. They also just revealed that the AT-AT walkers are going to be on rails, which has pissed a lot of people off. That said, if you played Battlefront and actually played in an AT-AT, it was shitty to drive one of those things. Fucking awful. But it seems like they've completely said, oh, we're just not going to do anything about it. We're going to put them on rails. You get to gun with them, and they're basically a walking turret.
Yeah, apparently it's going to be like in Battlefield 4 when you can get into the giant, whatever that damn plane is, that would circle around the map.
The gunship. Yeah.
AC-130 and there were 3 positions in it. Like, you could be the main gunner, or you could fire the huge, anti-vehicle gun. But it just did the same circle over and over again. Yeah.
Which is really sad. Yeah. Really sad, because the earlier Battlefield games, like, you could drive in Battlefield 1942, you could actually drive a fucking ship. Like, you could get a multi-crew ship, and the bombers had 3 positions in them, and they gradually reduced the amount of people that were needed to fly like planes and shit. So they're all like single stuff now, and that's really unfortunate, because like apparently teamwork is completely unacceptable in these games. So space battles are gone. Apparently, because I remember Battlefront 1 never had space battles, did it? That was a Battlefront 2 thing, if I recall correctly.
Well, it's weird to see all the different things being said about the stuff that was revealed and the stuff that we visually saw and the stuff that we were told, because really we still know nothing. And I think
we don't know
everyone responding to it like, oh, did you see the practical effects? Like, it looks like it did in the original. Like, it doesn't look like anything because it's not a real thing. Like, the hype for a game that doesn't exist is amazing. But I think the thing that kills me is one of the battles you're going to fight is the battle that, if you saw the Star Wars trailer, the beginning of it when that Star Destroyer was like in the sand, which is like an amazing shot, by the way.
Oh, I mean, yeah, the new Star Wars trailer was incredible. Absolutely.
That's why it was such a letdown going into this. But please continue, Jesse.
So that Star Destroyer that's in the sand, everyone was like, is that Tatooine? No, it's not Tatooine. It's a new planet, and that planet is where right before the new movie start, there's a huge epic battle between whatever's left of whatever factions, who the fuck knows. But that battle is supposed to be in this Battlefront game, and it's supposed to be the new battle you get to play. Here's the problem: that giant fucking Star Destroyer in the sand. I want to know what's going on above that happened to make that happen. You want to shoot
that fucking thing down. That should be a mission objective, is kill the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, like, that shit looks like whatever space battle was going on is a million times more interesting than whatever's happening in the sand. Like, that's such a letdown that you don't get to experience that, and it's infuriating. So,
well, I mean, a lot of us have just been upset that we haven't had a new X-Wing game in ages, that we had Alliance was like the last one, and we haven't even had a new Rogue Squadron game in ages, which was more kind of console-ified.
Well, I guess the last Star Wars game was Old Republic, right? The MMO?
Yep.
Yeah, so you had some space battling in that, but I mean, it's okay. I played the space battles in that. They were all right.
Got better. I think the game's
but they're on rails. Like, but I mean,
no. The new ones they changed that. So
they had new ones.
Well, when the game first came out, they had the on rail space battles, and then they put actual full control into it, so you could play PvP. So you got your own starfighter, and you got to fight. It was actually all right. You got like a bunch of cooldown based abilities. It was kind of fun. I had fun with it. It's not bad.
And
but I mean, it's no X-Wing.
It's not canon now, guys.
Yeah, no,
that shit's canon.
This is like, fuck you. We're just nope. Nothing.
Well, the latest complaint is apparently they will not have the instant action mode the Battlefront had. They're going to have Battlefront missions, which are apparently like single player. So not really sure what's going on with that. But a lot of people have been complaining a lot about that as well. And the community managers have been sort of interacting on the subreddits, and they've not really been doing a great job of assuaging people's concerns. People are complaining that the PC version won't have split screen, which ultimately is not a feature that PC gamers use a great deal of. Simultaneously, though, what's the reason of taking it out if it's already in? Like, just fucking leave it in. Some people are going to use it, so why not give them the opportunity? So there's that. I try to think of what else that people don't like. There were a bunch of other complaints about it. Yes.
Can I get a clarification?
You can try.
Do we know, is it that you won't go into space at all in this game, or you just won't battle in space in this game?
As far as we know, there's going to be no space in it. So
there's no like dog fighting in space.
What the fuck? It's Star
Wars, exactly.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, because like I was assuming that meant like you'll fly through space, but you just won't battle there.
Nope.
But if you just if you're never in space, that sounds super shitty.
Yeah.
Apparently the Galactic Conquest mode is also gone, so a lot of people are kind of pissed off about that. So there's a lot of features that people loved from Battlefront 2 that just aren't going to be there.
It's weird because like everything you're saying is like apparently, and it's because they did not fucking say anything in the stupid panel that they had, and now it's all coming out after the fact. Like it's so horribly done that like here's a trailer of what the game could potentially look like. This is in engine. It's not going to look like this at all. By the way, here's a bunch of random bullet points that we're going to talk about after the fact.
Yeah,
and
they've only confirmed
8
maps up to this point. And we know, obviously, the games have been coming out from EA with a very small number of maps, which means they might be selling map packs. They've already announced DLC for the game. They're already pushing pre-orders heavily for the game.
As soon as the trailer finishes, it's like pre-order.
Based on what? You showed me no gameplay. Like, I might as well just go to Vegas and throw $60 at a fucking blackjack table. Yeah. I'd have more luck. I might walk away with 120. That'd be nice.
How hard is it really to make a single slide with bullet points and put that up behind you during your stupid presentation where you don't talk about any of this stuff to begin with? Like, just have the info there. And then you can actually control the message coming out of this instead of just like random things leading up a week after the fact. The worst part about it all is that they showed the trailer for the movie, or the teaser, sorry, which was probably like one of the best teasers in a very long time.
Teaser.
Like it was amazingly done.
And then the follow-up trailer was even fucking better than that. You know, it's like, oh my God.
So good. And then the next day, like 24 hours after people are writing this, I think like, what was it? 85 million views on the teaser in 24 hours or something like that. Like people are just going fucking crazy, losing the shit over Star Wars. And then you show this thing and people were like, what the fuck, man? Like, it was such a buzzkill.
Thanks for showing us no gameplay whatsoever. Claiming it's in engine when it's obviously pre-rendered in it. It's like, yeah, okay, it's in engine, but you pre-rendered the whole fucking thing, so the game's not going to look like that. It might look like that on PC, but even then, like, it was a cinematic. You showed us a fucking cinematic, and you showed us exactly what.
I feel bad for.
What? Who?
I feel bad for the people who work at EA who put this together, who the whole time were telling the PR representatives, this isn't going to work. People are going to know. Why are we doing this? This is a terrible idea. And they were like, just do it.
Just do it.
It'll be fine.
They could have
even we're like, those fucking assholes. And they're like, we told you.
Yeah. They could have saved themselves.
That they're back there.
If they just showed that trailer and then at the end it said, we'll have more for you at E3. And that's all they talked about. Like that would have been people wouldn't have gone fucking as crazy as they are right now about all of that. Yeah. And it would have solved everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just reading on the subreddit right now, and like, there's the producer from DICE is coming in. There's community managers, and people are just like saying, look, if you hadn't showed us a useless cinematic trailer instead of showing us some fucking gameplay, then we might be less cynical about this. Because all people are hearing right now is what's not in Battlefront.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
This trailer didn't tell me anything. Like, okay, there's blasters, there's stormtroopers, there's Darth Vader, there's AT-ATs. AT&T. Yeah, okay.
ATSTs.
Yeah, there's ATSTs in there as well. There's probably an Ewok in some capacity, and Star Wars. That's all you showed me.
Yeah.
What are you doing with the game? And all I hear is what it doesn't have now. Man. So I'm not...
It's kind of a buzzkill.
Well, it's just an example of a poorly put together marketing campaign. They're relying entirely on people's nostalgia for Battlefront, which is a great game, and their love of Star Wars, but what they fail to realize is people loved fucking Battlefront 2 so goddamn much that they're expecting a really good game out of this. And that now they think they're not going to get one.
Can I ask a question?
There's a lot of cynicism.
Just like a Star Wars question in general, and this is to anyone who is a fan of the series, if you're watching at home or you're in a chat right now with us. The Battle of Endor. Did anyone ever really give a shit about what was going on the planet? Wasn't it always like you sat through that part? You sat through that part to get back to the space battle,
which was the biggest space battle in the whole series. It's like, there's the Super Star Destroyer, the Death Star, the entire Rebel fleet versus the entire Imperial fleet. They showed off new starfighters. Like they showed off the A-Wing and the B-Wing, and they showed TIE Interceptors and all sorts of crazy shit. It was this
crazy epic battle, and then it would cut back to fucking Ewoks dancing and like you sat through that part.
As a person who does not care all that much about Star Wars, I totally remember sitting there and being like, "Oh my god, can we get back to space,
space battle?"
Right?
Yeah.
And so,
I totally remember that.
And compare that to Hoth, for example. That whole battle is like the most engaging fucking thing in the world. And I wonder why repeatedly, over and over and over again, in video games and in media, the one thing synonymous with, hey, we have a new Star Wars game, is let's show you the ground battle of Endor again. They always do that.
Nobody cared
It's the
about.
worst fucking battle in the entire series.
Why Hoth is not
crazy.
the centerpiece for every Star Wars game, I don't know. Because everyone loves the Hoth battle. It's got everything.
That's what I remember from the Rogue. Was that Rogue Squadron?
Rogue Squadron.
That's what I remember exactly.
You had the speeders. It's like you've got the AT-ATs, which appear to be unstoppable. You've got the speeders, who have to stop them. You've got the rebels fighting a desperate entrenched battle. You know, there's all sorts of shit going on with that battle.
Plus, how mind-blowing is this? It just hit me. That is the most like, if you want to do, we have objective-based game. Empire has to destroy the shield generator. The
then
rebels
go
have
into
to
the
take
base.
out the
Then do that.
AT-ATs. The Empire has to shoot down the, like, there's so many various objectives in that one battle.
Gain control of the ion cannon. You know, that's fighting
team
this
out
again.
you have to get your team off the planet. Plus, you have to ionize the Star Destroyers up. Like, holy shit, there's a million things to do there. And they're like, yes, we want to show our graphics.
We're going to show Endor. You want to see some trees?
Shit.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. Every time there's a new game, they show an Endor-like stage. And they show, like, yeah, Endor, they're on speeder bikes. Like, holy shit. I just don't care. I just don't. Where's my star battles, guys? Dodge is right. Star Wars equals, that's why I showed up. That's why the end of the first movie is a space battle and not a bunch of Jedi twirling around fighting. Because it's Star Wars. Like, that.
Yeah.
Infuriating.
Yeah.
It's true.
And frankly, like, I think the cynicism is justified. And I don't have any problem with the damn cynicism. Like, you're cynical about games before they came out. I think that's a very healthy attitude. Some people's like, oh, well, you know, you're miserable. No, people are not wanting to drop $60 on something that's probably not going to be that good anymore. They're sick of it. They're sick of getting the $60 game, which they know is incomplete because the $80 fucking special edition on PlayStation 4 had additional content, and then they're going to charge you $60 more for yet more DLC over the course of the year. They're sick of that. They're not sick of video games. They're sick of how you sell video games.
Yeah, I think people need to realize there's a big difference between, like, allowing yourself to still be excited about games, but also being an informed consumer and realizing, like, certain companies act certain ways, and you need to make sure that you are, you know, making statements with your wallets.
Yeah. Don't pre-order. I mean, you don't know what it's gonna be like. You know what's missing. If you look at Hardline, tell me, you know, did you pre-order Hardline and was it worth it? Like, wouldn't you have been just better off buying Hardline on release or later down the line? Same with Battlefield 4. If you pre-order Battlefield 4, probably the first few months of you playing it were fucking awful because that game was buggy as shit. It's a lot better now, but it took them over a year to do it. Wait.
How many people are playing Oh, wait, is this
Hardline? Hard to say. Couldn't tell you because it's an Origin
It actually
exclusive.
has their stats on right now.
Oh, do they?
On BF. I'm just gonna link it to you instead of saying it on
Yeah,
stream.
You'll crash it. BFHstats.com. There's only 4,000 people playing it. There's literally less people playing
PC.
Hardline right now on PC than are playing Star Trek Online. So just bear that in mind. On
74K global.
It's doing really well on PS4 and Xbox One, but people said fuck it on PC. And I just think it's because people on PC, they have so many other options. Like on Xbox One and PS4, if you want to play an online shooter, you don't actually have that many choices yet. On PC, the peak, apparently, for Battlefield was like 5,930.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a stat. Is there a stats for Battlefield 4? I'd love to see that.
I can.
Is there like Battlefield4stats.com? Let's try it. Yep. There are currently 17,000 people playing Battlefield 4 on PC. So there's
that's kind of crazy.
3 times more people playing a more than a year-old game. And apparently the peak 24 hours, there's 25,000 people playing like last night. There are actually more people playing on PC than there are on Xbox One.
BF4 still has a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at the peaks, they're actually up to what the PS4 is. So the PC version of Battlefield 4 is doing really well. The PC version of Hardline, no one gives a fuck. Nobody cares.
It should have been just DLC for BF4. Like that's all it should have been.
Because BF4 is finally good
better.
now after a year of them fixing it.
Yeah.
And it's got a bunch of DLC, a lot of maps, a lot of new weapons, a lot of functionality. And people didn't want to pay $60 for a Hardline. It's like, do you want to pay $60 for a pre-order for Battlefront? Well, you don't know how good it's going to be. Wait. Just be patient.
I honestly think they thought or they believed that the single player was going to be a huge thing for that.
But it's apparently not. It's going to be even less. Oh, for Hardline, sorry.
Yeah.
Ah, well, yeah. I mean,
That's another subject
that only keeps
entirely.
people going for 6 hours, though. You know, it's like a 6-hour campaign at most.
Right. Yeah.
It's and the single player with Battlefront's barely going to be anything. So, frankly, apparently there were 7,500 people playing Battlefield 3 on PC right now. So there's more people playing Battlefield 3 than there are Hardline.
What about
Almost
Battlefield
double.
2?
I don't know what the stats are for
best
that.
one.
Keep going.
Keep
the
going.
best one in the world.
We have to go deeper.
Go deeper. Pan, zoom, rotate.
Yeah. I wonder if wasn't Battlefield 2 on Steam?
How many people are playing Battlefield 2 Kirkland right now? Because that's the big number.
Well, there's currently 26 people playing it on Steam, but I don't know if that counts.
Ah.
There's like 500 people still playing Bad Company 2 on Steam. So, you know.
Bad Company was
Bad Company was good. I like Bad Company. It's good
I
fun.
like there are 26 people who just cannot give up that game.
Battlefield 2 was a
Oh,
good game,
shit.
man. Don't fuck with Battlefield 2. That's enough for one server. I'd go play Battlefield 2 right now.
There's just
Dude,
one
Battlefield
server
2
that's always
Strike at
maxed out,
Parkland.
man.
Yeah, why not?
Strike at Kirkland Battlefield 2, the best multiplayer experience. One of the best multiplayer experiences.
Fuck yeah.
All time.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah. I should go back and play Bad Company 2. And bear in mind, that's only the people playing it on Steam, you know, because that was on Origin as well. So, and a lot of these older games you can play off of Steam, so the Steam stats aren't really accurate. Yeah.
That's really odd to think about that.
Yeah, Hardline's a flop. It's not even a question about that. And, you know, if you keep making too many games that are too similar and you keep over-promising and under-delivering, then, yeah, people are going to be more cynical about your title. And I think people have a good reason to be cynical about Battlefront, because it seems like they're relying far too much on the fact that it's Star Wars. And they're not talking about, you know, name one new feature that Battlefront has. Can you name even one? No?
Idea.
I can't either, because they haven't said anything new.
First and third person. Didn't they
Well,
say
that was in Battlefront 2.
Fuck.
Battlefront 2 had that. So there's no, they've just taken away. They haven't put in anything new yet. And they're saying, oh, we're building a brand new game from scratch. Great. What's in it? Tell me, you know, tell me why I should play this over fucking Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'd love to know. Other than it's newer. You know, is that a reason? It's newer, is not. There are currently 1,200 people playing Battlefront 2 on Steam right now.
So it went on sale pretty recently. It was in the top sellers list.
There's a bunch of people still playing it. I should fucking install that game and just go play it. Why not? Apparently, it still has an active community. That game is, what, 10 years old now?
Well, I wonder how much of Friday like re-sparked an interest in that game. It probably did a shit
I'm
ton
looking
of
at the stats. It seemed like it still had like 200, 300 players earlier in the month, but the sale definitely helped. Like, the sale doubled its player count. So there's a lot of people playing it now. That game came out in 2005. It's 10 years old. People are still playing it.
Is that even DirectX? Like what?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I don't even know what that runs.
Yeah, people are like, didn't they shut down the servers? Evidently, fucking not, because there's like 1,000 people playing it right now. So they've managed to find some way of doing it. I wonder what the original Battlefront's at. I don't think that's even on Steam. Yeah, I don't think the original Battlefront was on Steam. Multiplayer's probably broken for that. I should play that. I haven't played Battlefront in ages. Holy shit.
I honestly never played Battlefront because I was playing Quake and CS at the time.
Yeah. They've also confirmed that there will be no prequel battles. But by prequel, I assume they mean anything before Episode 7. So it's all going to be based around Episode 7, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because they marketed what was basically the Battle of Endor, even though it's obviously not Endor. So it's just another forest battle.
Are you sure they don't mean 1 through 3? Just 1 through 3?
I don't know. Maybe they do mean just 1 through 3. It's hard to say.
Which is fine by me, because there were no battles that were of interest in there.
No, I mean, the big clone battles were kind of cool. I mean, space-wise, no. But I like the big clone battles. They're all right. Ish.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for taking it back a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to get too enthusiastic about the prequels. Okay. I'm going to lose all of my credibility if I do that. Let's not.
All that cred.
Yeah, so there you go. People are not too happy with it right now, and I think it's, yeah, as you say, it's up to them at E3 to really show the game and show that it's actually worth it. And if they don't do that, then that's their own fucking problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
Hopefully-
it's going to be hard to make a big splash to at E3 when That's what everyone is trying to do.
Yeah, of course. You're competing against everything at E3, so you better make it look good.
They botched a pretty big thing where they literally won the weekend. A weekend where like huge amounts of nerd things were shown. Like Batman versus Superman was shown. If you even think that the Fantastic Four had a blip anywhere on a nerd scale, that was shown. There was a couple things that were shown over the weekend, and that just dominated. Like no one was talking about anything else. So
yeah,
they kind of fucked it up. They had the world to be able to talk about everything, and now they got to wait 2 months.
Yep, pretty much. Well, unless they start releasing gameplay right now. I just love to see them just be. And EA will never do this because this is not what EA does. This is what indies and more savvy publishers do. Get the fucking alpha for this game and get the devs to start streaming it and start to explain the various aspects and show it off. Don't give me some big budget cinematic trailer that doesn't show me anything about the game and then order me to pre-order it. I'm not going to do that. Show me the game and then I might be more interested. But they'll never do that because EA never does that. That's not their thing. So bugger that. All right, let's move on. Heroes of the Storm is coming out officially on June the 2nd. So, of course, getting a beta key for Heroes of the Storm is not exactly difficult. They're going to be doing open beta.
This has been like the most open closed beta ever.
Oh yeah, like people just give keys out all the time in my channel. Yeah. So it's like you want to see Heroes of the Storm and play it. Yeah, you can do it.
I think they gave me like 300 keys.
They gave me a bunch of keys. I'm like, I can't be asked to give these out. Take them back.
Yeah, I literally just made like a 1080 or 1920 by 1080 image and put like 60 keys on them behind me. Yeah. And then just stood up with my green screen and blocked letters and numbers.
That's really fun.
That is a silly way of doing it, but it is original.
And then I did it with like 3 times because I had so many. But yeah.
It reminds me of the Dota 2 beta where it was extremely... There was literally a bot that you could friend and would just give you a key on Steam. Like there were so many keys. But they're going to do open beta May the 20th, so for the 5 people that haven't got beta access yet, you can get in there. And then they're going to release it. So, Jesse, this is the point of the show where I actually get you to do some fucking work instead of slacking for the rest of the show. You play the most Heroes of the Storm out of any of us. You were playing last night. I watched The Salt. You hate solo queue, yet you keep queuing in it for some reason. You're a masochist.
I played with Soinky last night. I didn't solo queue at all.
You were duoing and yelling at the other 3 people. That's what
you do.
Oh, Dodgers.
Physically, we weren't like typing them. We were yelling at them because you express your rage at people who are bad.
All right.
And sometimes people are genuinely bad.
Okay, so here's the question. Yeah. Launching on the 2nd of June, do you think the game is ready to launch? Like, do you think it's got enough content? Do you think the business model's where it needs to be? What do you reckon?
I think there's enough content. I think it's ready to launch. I think it's been ready to launch. I think everything's good, except I think the cost for everything is still way out of whack.
Is it still
very expensive?
$10? How much
$10
is it for
$10 a hero, generally speaking. Skins.
As an example, today
skins
I
are
bought
anywhere
a
between
character,
what, $10 to $20?
20. No. $9.99 is the most I've seen. I think there used to be ones that were like $14, but I don't think that's.
Wasn't Infested Tychus a premium skin that was like $20?
I haven't. I can look right now, but I don't. Literally, the prices have changed a bunch, but they're still they're ridiculously expensive. Like I think that is one of the things about the game that I think is still out of whack. There's 1 or 2 maps that I'm convinced, even though I think you would disagree, I'm convinced are like badly put together maps. Like they're fun, but if you start losing, it's just a downward spiral. But I guess that's just me being a cynical ass. I think like let me see if I can find this skin for you, sir. So the idea that like it's ready, I think it's ready. I think there's plenty of characters to choose from. There's a bunch of stuff in the game. It plays fun. I like it a lot. I feel like the prices are what, if people are going to get really like, oh, it's going to be the prices that get people.
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
That's the price of heroes mainly. Like, fuck the skins. Like, you can make skins as expensive as you want. I don't care because they don't affect the gameplay. But as soon as you start charging, it's what, $10 a hero? Things start to go up.
It is.
Yeah, Tychus is the most expensive. He's $15.
Yeah.
Why is he the most expensive?
Because it's an infest. It's got like new voice acting, new effects. Like he has a brand new UI and everything.
Is that like stated why it's more expensive in the game, or is it just like this?
It says it's like a premium skin with a bunch of new features. Like it's like the
Oh, okay. So that
what do they call them? Legendary
label.
skins in LoL. I think they're about $20 each. It's basically that.
Gotcha.
So I mean, I don't. Like, I'm sorry that I wasn't being very descriptive. I was trying to load this fucking game at the same time I was trying to describe the game. Chat. He was like, Jesse says it plays fun. What a nerd. It plays well. It's a game that it's responsive enough to get you out of the way and get you moving and body block and do all sorts of, like, if you want to do something, it'll happen without it being too much of a hassle. So if you're trying to dodge abilities, if you're trying to, like, hook guys, if you're trying to get skill shots off, it seems it's a lot more fluid than when I played other MOBA games, but also I guess it's about experience. So I couldn't really tell you if it legitimately is because I play this more. Right.
How long did it take you?
The performance used to suck. What's it like now? Like, it used to drop to like 30 frames per second in a base fight, which was really shitty. Is it better now?
It doesn't do any of that for me. I don't know that it ever has. I couldn't tell you. It's been a while since I've seen something like that.
When I played, when they put in the Lost Vikings, Jesse, you can tell me how long ago that was? A month, 2 months, something like that? This is back near PAX South, I want to say is when this was. The fights still dipped on my rig down to 40 FPS in the major fights.
The problem is the StarCraft 2 engine, which is a colossal piece of shit. Like, even with my new machine, when I'm casting Clan Wars, I still have the game drop down to 30. It's fucking horrible.
But to be honest, like, Blizzard games don't scale that well with hardware. Like,
no, they
World
don't.
of Warcraft scales shittily. Like, I still can get.
There's no PC that runs World of Warcraft well. None of them.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. They make games that run on everything, but don't run well on anything. Except Hearthstone, which I guess runs fine on anything. But,
yeah, I mean, you could play it on a phone. So
well, sure.
I mean, I haven't. Like, the last time I had anything like that was a long time. Like, it's not something I've noticed. And I usually have a little, like, I always have my little thing from Shadowplay, the FPS in the top corner.
Yeah.
So I can usually see that no matter what. It's always on. And, I mean, I haven't noticed anything like that. I mean, I'm not... Yeah, like, Krendor's right. At the top of mine, I'm always I have it locked at 60, and so it always says 60. So I haven't noticed... like maybe 59, which is, some people might lose their shit.
Are you on Ultra on everything?
Yeah. I even though, here's the thing though, I will say this.
For ages, so I don't know how it runs
even
now.
Though I'm Ultra everything, but my NVIDIA, like the GeForce Experience thing is like, you should probably not have it on Ultra. Like, it says I should set it on high and medium stuff. So I don't know what that's about.
That's the same with StarCraft 2. Like, if you want
Yeah.
better performance, don't run Ultra, because there's no rig on the planet that will let you stay on Ultra and keep it at a high frame rate in big battles. It just doesn't exist. Because the engine right now, StarCraft 2 only uses 2 cores, and it is really CPU intensive. It doesn't support SLI very well at all. So I
you
heard
actually
that
get better performance turning SLI off.
Yeah, I heard with Heroes they made it so that their 64-bit client now uses 4 cores, and they're doing that. They might be doing that with StarCraft as well. That's what I heard. But if that, I mean, I don't know, because I haven't played since they changed it to the 64-bit client. So maybe it's that. I haven't played HOTS in months, so it might.
There's a few things here and there they need to fix. Like, I have SLI set up, and on mine, random squares of graphics like jitter really quick.
Yeah.
But that happens literally in every game now.
Yeah, that's SLI.
Every game now it happens all the time. So I don't know if I'm getting used to it and I just don't notice it as much. But when I go back and look at videos,
those square
it's
shadows,
there.
Dragon Age had a huge amount of those.
Dragon Age did that all the time. Yeah. So I don't know, but I think if you're asking if it's ready, it has more than enough characters to launch. It has plenty of maps. Each map is different enough that it's a different experience every time, plus the comps, plus everything. I mean, everything's there. I think that, Blizzard wants it to be as perfect as it can get, but I still think the cost of everything is prohibitive to some people.
And it's up against games like Smite, which say for $30 you can have all the gods. And Smite has way more content than Heroes of the Storm does. Admittedly, it's a harder game. It's not that I don't like Heroes of the Storm. I think it's good. And I think it's like the Mario Kart of Dota clones. It's something you can just jump in with your friends, and because the skill ceiling's a bit lower, you can kind of get a bit of a kickstart. It's not that the game is easy. It's not. You'll get killed by a good team. But it's easier to get into, and there's less shit that you can fuck up in that game. So, I don't hate it. But simultaneously, I think it's going to have, even though it's Blizzard, it's going to have a tough sell. It has shitty views on Twitch. Nobody cares about the game on Twitch. Whereas Dota and Smite and League of Legends all do better on Twitch than Heroes of the Storm does.
But to be fair, a lot of people are watching that because of the pro players are actual, like...
Yeah, and there are no pro players for HOTS. I don't know, people like Grubby switched over to HOTS and got like 1,000 viewers. That was it. Like, if I go on Twitch right now...
Grubby's not like a...
Grubby's one of the most famous pro gamers in the world, and he got 1,000 viewers on League of Legends.
Not
anymore, though. I think it's a little bit different landscape now compared to 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Maybe, but if I look at it right now, Grubby's on 951 viewers. There's a guy called Chew8, which has 1,000. And then there's a bunch of, like, ex-StarCraft guys.
I suck at the game, and I average 2,000 views.
Well, yeah, because you're a YouTuber.
A top streamer,
like, the thing is, you would get more viewers playing a different game.
No, and that's true. I know that for a fact, because when I played... Every time that I play Hearthstone to start... That's an average about 3,000 to 4,000 viewers.
Yeah.
The minute I switch over to Heroes, it drops 2,000.
It drops.
Every time.
Do you think Heroes is just not a very good spectator game? Do you think it's got something to do with that? That people just don't like watching it?
I don't know what it is. I know it probably has to do with, like, 50% that, like, I'm mediocre at best. Like, I'm not a great player, but I know what I'm doing, but I'm not skilled in any sort of way.
Well, apparently people don't watch the good players either. So it does. Well, you're still getting more views than the good players.
But I think it's about, like, it's the community for it. I don't think exists yet. Right. Like, I think it's a game where there is no community yet, and everyone is curious about it, and so they're watching. But I think, the reason why people can get invested in, say, LoL or Dota is because as they play, they can see the shit that person did and understand what they did and why they did it. Yeah. And like, oh shit, that setup was awesome. Oh, did you see that gank? And like, everyone can explain, like, oh, this battle just broke out, and they can all enjoy it because they have experienced something similar or want to, and they know the world. And Heroes doesn't have that because there's not enough people in it yet.
It's a very odd entity, like, for being a Blizzard game and getting the numbers that it does, and like having like, there's really no, like, when that was announced, I don't even know, it didn't really blow up. It was just like, oh, that's finally coming out.
I'm the top Heroes Storm streamer of all time, basically, in terms of numbers. I capped out, I think, 17,000, and that was on launch day.
That was launch day, yeah.
And then I did it again, and I got 15K. Then I did it again, and I got like 12K. And then I just didn't bother streaming it anymore because it was becoming obvious that people tuned in because of the novelty, because it was new. Yeah. And I think if I streamed it right now, I'd probably still get good numbers on it. But simultaneously, you've got to remember that if you stream, it depends on the game you're playing. If I stream StarCraft and I'm playing StarCraft myself, I'll probably get between 5 to 10K at most. If I stream Hearthstone, it's more like 20. If I stream something brand new like Skylines, I had 35,000 on that. So I think the problem with Twitch is that no one's going to be incentivized to stream Heroes of the Storm because there's no audience for it. And I don't think that's not critical to the success of the game, but when you see Dota and League of Legends and Smite completely crushing it in terms of numbers, I mean, God's sake, Amnesia currently has more viewers than Heroes of the Storm. RuneScape has more viewers.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I think Jesse has a point, though. Like, there's no, like, when the game comes out and it's free to play and other people can jump into it, they're going to want to watch streams to see what other people are doing so they can be successful as well.
The question is, are you going to do a lot of that in HOTS? Because it seems to me that to be successful, it's a lot easier to get a grasp of a character in Heroes of the Storm than it is in any other game. Like, if I watch a pro Dota stream, I'm going to learn so much about how a hero works because there's all these little eccentricities. But I don't think that exists in Heroes of the Storm. I think it's a much easier game to get into, and it really comes down to team play. And the problem with that is, unless it's like a casted esports game, you don't really get that team play aspect on a solo stream.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse, that's a question for you.
I mean, do you think that's true? Do you think that's why people don't want to see it?
I think, it goes back to that there's no investment in people watching it for the game. Like since no one can play it, you're right, the novelty was there when it first came out and people were interested, but if no one can play it, the novelty will eventually wear out and become like not novelty but jealousy, and not even jealousy but just like until I can play it, I have no like I'm all right.
I still think that there's something to that because like Hearthstone, we had the same kind of beta launch with Hearthstone. Hearthstone never died out.
It only got bigger.
Yeah, it only got bigger.
Grew,
and I think Hearthstone is a very compelling experience to watch from the perspective of a player because you don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens. Like, even top-decking a card is a big deal, and that's entertaining to watch. None of that really exists within Heroes of the Storm. Like, that experience isn't there. So I don't know.
I think, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think one of the things you're right about is the team aspect of the game, in that because it's all team-based and because there is no player, I mean, you can have a few standout players, but their standoutiness isn't going to massively affect the overall course of the game. One good player will not, like, massively change the way the game.
You can't carry in that game. It's not like it's not like Dota or League of Legends.
Yeah.
And I feel like because of that, you don't have any moments where, like, you can have a single player that people are going to be like, holy shit, that's the guy. Like, I'm going to follow X Sephiroth X because he's so skilled at this game. Like, a guy could be skilled at it, but if his team's not skilled, he can still lose badly.
It's harder to show the skill. As you said, it's harder to stand out from the crowd because everyone plays at like a base level in that game where they could probably use their hero because the heroes aren't that complicated, and you can fuck your build up, sure, but you can't fuck it up in the way you can fuck it up in another game where you buy completely the wrong items and are just completely useless the entire game. Even if you pick the bad ulti, you can still kill people with it. It's just maybe not as good as the other ulti.
Right.
The thing I think that is interesting, and I would disagree to the people who said it's not fun to watch. If you have been watching the stuff that they've been doing with ESPN, even though shame on them for the Heroes of the Dorm, shame on them for making it behind the like paywall stuff. Like, I find it really entertaining to watch them play, and I think because it's a team, like I'm saying, like people who don't have cable couldn't get the ESPN.
They replayed it on Twitch on Sunday.
They did, yeah. But like, if you want to watch
it didn't
live,
get many
like,
viewers though. It was like 4,000 concurrents I saw. I think.
Yeah,
people weren't really interested.
And it's one of those things where I think that I because it's a team game, I think it's a lot of fun to watch because the team has to work together and you can see some really cool team strategies, and I like that. I think it's great to watch it. But again, that goes down to how often you're gonna have a team playing on Twitch, that kind of stuff, where you can see a team work together and wreck people, which I think is the fun aspect of the game. Is a team game.
Yeah.
So there is no one person.
It doesn't need to be successful on Twitch to be successful. It can still be a very popular game in general. There's still a lot of people playing it, even in the beta right now. It has a big player base, and it's probably only going to get bigger when the game comes out. Because, you've got Blizzard pushing it, and, everyone that plays World of Warcraft is being bombarded by things in the launcher that says, play Heroes of the Storm. If you play Hearthstone, play Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, they're tying it to everything.
Yeah.
Even the finals or whatever for the Heroes of the Dorm, aren't they giving away like a special Hearthstone card if you're in attendance?
Probably, yeah. Well, they know how to cross-promote. I'll give them that. They absolutely know how to cross-promote. So maybe the game will just be successful. It just isn't going to be a big streaming game. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be a big streaming game. It's just, I know a lot of people have doubts that it's going to compete.
Yeah. We'll see. I worry about the longevity of the game, especially with something like Overwatch coming soon.
Overwatch.
Which I have yet to play. I'm looking forward to playing it. It looks, again, if it's objective focus, hey, if they put proper objectives in that game, I'll be over that, But I don't know if they're going to do that. I hope they just have some really interesting game modes in that game.
We had to like, whenever I played that, I guess PAX East, it was like escort the train carrier thing through the map, and it was
it is kind of like that, but that's just one objective though. It's not a multi-stage objective.
It's not. We did not see multi-stage at PAX.
I want to see multi-stage. I love multi-stage objectives for FPS.
I'm trying to think back. I don't think it was.
I think the mode that we've been allowed to play has basically been payload.
Yeah, that's what
it is. Yeah.
There is a few where you capture an objective and then have to move a thing. There's one where you have to move a thing through many objective points, like different choke points. So yeah, it's your usual Team Fortressy style stuff.
Didn't they say that fall is when the beta is going to be out for that?
Yeah, I think so.
September?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they said a month. They might have. You might be right. Who knows?
But
it'll be weird though.
80 field of view, guys. 80 field of view. They need to fix that shit.
Well,
I will yell at them until they do.
It's not going to change.
It will change because I'll yell at them until they change it. It's going to happen. 80 FOV is unacceptable for a PC game, especially when they have those giant-ass fucking gun models. Look at the size of those gun models.
Go to BlizzCon and like cosplay something, and then stand in line
and ask a question.
Overwatch, and then just
can I be the yellow shirt guy?
Yeah,
can I be that guy?
Special color shirt.
Yeah, fantastic.
And just ask that question. It'd be hilarious.
I'm not having this shit. It's like, come on, 90 is the bog standard base minimum for a PC game. 80 is bullshit. Don't start with me. I barely endured that on Black Ops. I will fuck you up. All right, let's do releases, shall we? Let's wrap up the show. Dodger, begin.
Today, April 21st, we have Highlands for PC.
Great. What is it?
Kind of a dead week.
I don't know.
I will Google it. It is a hand-drawn, turn-based strategy game with unique characters, resource management, and RPG elements. And I'm trying to find actual gameplay footage of it. Okay.
It's on Steam.
I am none the wiser. I'm looking at the gameplay. I'm like, I don't understand.
Starts off with a quote from Thoreau.
There you go. There appear to be airships in it.
Probably
so
terrible.
There's that. I'll have a look at it. We'll see. 4 distinct character classes. Story-driven. And we'll see. All right. I mean, it looks kind of pretty. It's got a nice art style. I'll have a look at it. It's all right.
Next up is Wild Frontera for PC, which is it's a Western top-down horde mode shooter.
Okay, a Western horde mode shooter. Okay. Huh. I'll have a look at that. That might be...
It's fast-paced and challenging.
Well, coming out the same day as Killing Floor is probably a mistake.
You fight a giant pig in the trailer.
There is a giant pig.
Hey.
You're right. You apparently fight someone called Poncho Bon the Betrayer, who has a giant poncho and a big hat.
Good.
Fantastic.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes
Are you
sense.
sure this is a horde mode? It looks more like just a twin stick. It's just a top-down shooter, right? It has online co-op.
Yeah, maybe it's not.
Stick.
Yeah, it looks more like Renegade Ops, but in the West.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's kind of a twin stick shooter. All right, cool. Next.
Next is Game Loading: Rise of the Indies for PC.
That's
a movie, right?
Yeah, it's not a game. It's a documentary.
Yeah, it's a documentary film they're bringing out. I have no idea what's going on with that one. I mean,
it's $10 on Steam.
I watched Indie Game the movie, and that was interesting, certainly. I gotta say.
Well, wasn't that on Netflix?
Yeah, that was on Netflix. I saw that. It was
out?
pretty good. There appear to be a lot of people spinning around, and people with strange hair, which is pretty standard for the indie scene. I remember watching Indie Game the movie and finding it fairly compelling. I think it was mainly due to how cool the Super Meat Boy guys were. They were just like, we just don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah.
I love them. I'm not so sure about everyone else in there. There's actually people I recognize from shows in here that I've actually spoken to, and probably hate my guts now, but, But regardless, yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Next up is Killing Floor 2 for PC, which we've talked about.
Yes, we have.
Shovel Knight for PS4, PlayStation Network Vita, and PlayStation 3 Network, which...
Yep, I think we know what that is.
Yeah, a game called We Are Doomed for PC, which is
doomed.
Like... It looks like a bullet hell. It's very minimalist
twin stick
pastel.
shooter.
Twin stick pot. This looks a lot like Geometry Wars, actually. Yeah, it's a very Geometry Wars-esque game. All right, well, I'm not too interested in that.
And then Convoy for PC.
Yes, I played a bit of this. I haven't played enough of it to really talk about it, but they are kind of going for a post-apocalyptic FTL thing where your spaceship crashes on a planet. You create a convoy to go and seek parts to rebuild your spaceship. And it's got like real-time vehicle combat and things like that in it. So far, I found the combat to be a bit sluggish. Like, it took a long time to kill stuff. It didn't seem to have like the tactical element that FTL does. But I will say I haven't played anywhere near enough of it to properly assess it. So please don't take me seriously on that. I'm going to be playing that over the next couple of days.
A lot of menus in that. A lot of varying menus. Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow, April 22nd, we have Will
This
Fight
game.
for Food Super Actual Sellout for PC, which looks amazing.
It's by a company called Pyrodactyl. It is I don't know, what is this game?
It's an RPG brawler.
It's a brawler. It's an RPG brawler. Are you like a homeless guy fighting for food?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure hang on a minute. I've seen this before.
This game looks
I'm pretty sure Will Fight for Food. Yeah, this is a updated version of a game that was Will Fight for Food, where you were a homeless guy who put on a mask and then you start brawling with people. It's that. And apparently they've just decided to kind of update it in some way. Right.
a weird looking art style.
Yep.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, this came out years ago, but apparently this is a brand new version of it, of some sort. Right. Okay.
Cool. Next up is Assassin's Creed Chronicles China for PC.
What the fuck is this game?
It's
I saw, like, a trailer for it
side-scrolling.
yesterday.
Yeah, it's like a side-scrolling Assassin's Creed. It's getting very middling reviews at the moment.
How do they give the first, like, the one Assassin's Creed that everyone wants to play in terms of the world, and they put in like a side scroller?
Because they're idiots.
Like, what the fuck?
I mean, at least it's only $10, but like it's getting pretty middling reviews at the moment. It's apparently a very linear kind of handholdy 2D game. It's got a lovely art style and it's got a really cool looking protagonist, but apparently it just looks like a knockoff of Mark of the Ninja. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got.
And probably not as good as Mark of the Ninja. So that's on the list of stuff I will eventually look at. It's probably going to be the Blackgate of Assassin's Creed, which I'm not too keen on.
Next up is Environmental Station Alpha for PC.
That is a terrible name for a game. That sounds like a recycling center. It is an action platformer. Action-adventure platformer with a retro aesthetic. Yup. I've seen a lot of those. It looks like an NES game, basically. Yeah, that's it. It's an NES-style platformer. If you like your retro platformers, you might know and have a look at it. Admittedly, there's like 5,000 of them, so hey.
April 23rd, we have Commander Cool 2 Hyped for PC.
No, it's Commander
hyped.
Cool 2. The Hyped is another game.
Okay, Hip is
Oh,
another
so
game.
Commander Cool 2 is just for some platform. Who knows?
It's a tribute to the good old 2D arcade platformers, because we don't... Why do you keep making these games? I got to imagine it's just because they're easier to make than regular games, but holy crap. Yep. If I see another... We're a tribute to retro games again, I'm going to be like, ah! That's what's going to happen. All of those things and more.
And then Hyped. Or Hipped.
Hipped.
For PC.
Yeeped.
It's a green light game. It's a green light game where you move a little thing and you try to avoid other things. Literally, that's the best description I can make.
It's got 120 levels, and yes, it appears to be a game about avoiding other things and bouncing lasers back at people.
Yep.
Fantastic.
It's got a kind of cool art style.
Awesome.
I like the lighting in that game. It's very trippy.
April 24th, we've got Dragon, a game about a dragon.
I like how they're just so honest with their title. It's like, that's truth in advertising right there. Dragon, a game about a dragon. It is a 2D platformer where you are a, like, pencil-colored-in dragon.
Oh, God.
There appears to be a giant, like, army of sheep chasing you. It's a hand-drawn action RPG where you are a dragon. Use your dragon abilities to make your way through. He appears to be setting old women on fire with, well, fire breath.
Some of these environments hurt my eyes. With the art stuff.
Right. It's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek kind of action RPG thing. All right. Okay. I can dig that.
Next up is Dungeons 2 for PC.
I heard some surprisingly good things about this. It's the original Dungeons was like it had no idea what it was doing. Like a lot of people expected it to be a Dungeon Keeper clone. It was really like make your dungeon as nice as possible, like make it a theme park for heroes, drain them of their soul, and then kill them at the end. Dungeons 2 is apparently much more like Dungeon Keeper. I know Jim Sterling was playing it, and he actually liked it quite a bit. So it might be a decent alternative to War for the Overworld, which, by the way, apparently is much, much better than it was on launch now. It's actually been fixed a great deal. So a lot of people are saying it's got good reviews so far. Not great, but good reviews. So, if you're looking for a Dungeon Keeper game, you actually now have choice. So there you go. Fancy.
And last up, April 27th, Cloud Knights for PC.
Looks like an iOS game. A ported iOS game.
You reckon?
Nerds.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Well, it's actually from Congregate. So a lot of people say iOS games when what they really mean is they ported a Congregate game to Steam. So Cloud Knights was available free on Congregate. It's actually been out for quite some time. And it is a swing and slash your way to victory on the floating arenas of Cloud Knights. Pick your weapons, hack and slash your way through. Fight invading undead legions. Unique physics-based control method. Yeah, you kind of swing. It looks like you swing your sword around, like with manual control, and that's how you do your damage. They're not the first game to do that, are they? I'm pretty sure there's been some other games that did that. But it actually looks kind of fun. Honestly, I like the physics-based weaponry. That's kind of ridiculous. So I might check this out. I don't care if it looks like a Congregate game. I'm getting sick of people saying that shit. Like, people said the same thing about Hero Generations. Looks like an iOS game. I don't give a fuck as long as it's a good game. Don't start with that shit. It's like, oh, game doesn't have fucking advanced 3D graphics. Must be iOS. Fuck you. Go to hell. Bastards. Bastards. Alright, that's about it,
One more
right?
time.
Yeah.
Comedy comes in threes.
What? Bastard.
You won't do it. There we go.
There you go.
Thank you.
I've now
got
got
it.
4, so I've ruined it for you.
Ah, fuck.
On purpose. And I'm never going to change it. You're going to just have to forever live now with that.
I'll have to just, live with that final Bastards that wasn't funny at all because the third one was...
hair's just getting a little bit grayer every time. All right, cool, folks. Thank you very much for watching the Corruptional Podcast. Before we go, we'd absolutely love you to watch ads on our channel, so please do that. Dodger, what's coming up on your channel this week? What's going on?
More Dandelion. The huge butt-touching games is what I'm into. YouTube.com/pressHardToContinue. YouTube.com/dexterity bonus. We'll have some stuff on it from Poland in a bit. So if you want to check that stuff out, both Jesse and I think took a lot of footage that's going to be cut up and turned into beautiful, beautiful, viewable things. So excited about that. On all the social medias, I'm at DexBonus, DEXBONUS. If you would like to come and hang out, I stream at twitch.tv/dexteritybonus. And I have a website, presshardtocontinue.com, and we just set up forums at forums.presshardtocontinue.com if you want to check those out. They're pretty organized and beautiful, and so far I'm preferring them to Reddit, so kind of into it. Anyway, come hang. Thanks for watching. Sorry I'm sleepy and jet lagged.
Fantastic. Next.
Who's next?
Next.
Jesse.
Jesse.
Jesse, go.
Jesse.
Hi, everybody. If you want to see some video games, youtube.com/Jesse Cox. If you want to see some live video games, twitch.tv/Shabuzi. If you want to see my ramblings on the Twitter, Jesse Cox on the Twitter. If you want to go look at pictures and shit, facebook.com/TheJesseCox. If you want to, I don't know, have a kissing contest, Tinder.net/Jesse in your face. If you want,
do you actually have a Tinder?
No, nope,
tell me. I was gonna say you don't have a Tinder.
I don't know how Tinder works.
For one thing, I'm pretty sure according to your Twitter, you just got a girlfriend, so you're not allowed a Tinder anymore.
Well, just got is a relative term.
Okay.
And then let's facenet.hug/Jess Weens if you want to see dick pics. So
what?
All that's out there.
No.
All
Crash
that's out
the
there
site.
for you guys.
Load it
Bam.
up. Crash the site. We did it. Crash it quick. Don't
was my-
allow
what-
the internet to
what
Crash it
website?
immediately so no one has to suffer it anymore.
What was that website? Facenet.hugs?
Faceweens.net /hugs.
Facenet.hugs/Jess Weens?
Jesus Christ.
Something.
It's real. That's a real thing.
Oh
there you
my
go.
God.
I have a website too, and I have a forum. Brazzers.com/forum.
Stop advertising
You wanna-
Brazzers. At least get us a sponsorship from them. Come on.
Call me Brazzers.
I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to be sponsored by Brazzers on YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah,
but
Definitely
Really?
not on Twitch. Yeah.
no,
What?
Twitch doesn't allow it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Twitch banned it because some esports team got.
It's got sponsored by
Anyways.
YouPorn, actually.
That's what
Yeah.
it was. That's what it was. Yeah.
They got sponsored by YouPorn.
Man, I want to be
No porn
sponsored by
sponsorships.
porn.
Yep. Twitch
Brazzers.
are a bunch of cowards, basically. They're too PG-13 for my liking.
Yeah,
Oh,
cowards. Yeah, you cowards.
Let's just find a lingerie company.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, not Victoria's Secret. That's
Frederick's of Hollywood. They're classy.
Frederick's of Hollywood is shitty. That's shitty quality. Victoria's Secret, that's for dumb Midwest girls who don't know any better. That shit quality. I would say
Bang Box.
that we should.
Pretty sure we can't get away with that either.
Sears brand bras. Only the
Stop advertising
Sears. Bras, the Sears flesh tone bra company that your grandmother has, like 12 of those.
No,
that is a good that is a quality bra. That keeps grandma's boobas up. It's gonna keep yours too. Sears brand bras. Get them on the hot. And by hot, I mean warm because.
No, can we just have Schlongkrate instead? It's much better. JP McDaniels, what's coming up on your channel?
For some reason, I invited Jesse onto R&D, and now I'm just like,
what did you do that for?
I think Krendor is gonna be there, and it's even more like.
You invite Krendor to play it? Oh no! What are you fucking doing?
That's his problem. I didn't want it.
Look, that's a terrible idea.
Don't do that.
Have you watched him play board games? He's fucking awful.
TB, here's the best part. All I'm doing is producing it. I'm not even.
I hope you're ready for a 3-hour turn. That's all I can say.
I'm just clicking the buttons to go to the
Krendor's in chat like smiley face.
Oh, fuck you.
It's literally just gonna be, oh, they're rolling dice. Let's change the screen. Let's just let this happen. It's up to Steven to deal with them. It's up to Steven to deal with them.
Oh no! I want to point out. We set up a chat, and in this chat, Krendor has done nothing but post weird video links.
Yeah,
and all the girls in the chat are like, "Who is this weirdo?"
This is the latest thing from Krendor. Here's a video about murdering babies. They're murdering babies and melt them into candles at satanist churches. And that's what Krendor up. That's what he gave us today.
Maggie only responds with weird faces that are like.
Shannon just stopped responding.
That sounds about right. Oh my god.
So yeah, roleplay RD coming up in a week or 2 or 3. We'll see. Mirror Shades with Dodger hopefully next week. Because Wheat's going to Chicago this weekend. Roleplay West Marches I think on Sunday. Swan Songs tomorrow.
I'm also in that.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be. Well, it's not announced yet, but yeah, Dodger's probably gonna be
tough
on.
Shit.
Wow.
Yeah,
way to go. Wow.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. I think that can be announced.
You broke him. I don't care.
When you have 8 shows, it's hard to keep track. Drop frames tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern. I think tonight we're gonna try to play Killing Floor 2 on Twitch.
Yeah, that's the plan. Assuming I'm still feeling okay by 9 this evening, we might be playing.
If the server's working. So.
Yeah, it's isn't it me, Maggie, you, and someone else? And I think we're trying to get like 6, weren't we?
Yeah, I think Gassy Mexican might join in and some other folks. So
overrated.
We'll see. Overrated.
Jesse just tried to start beef for no reason.
Yeah. Everyone. I can get gassy too, and I'm an American. Get out of here! You're stealing our jobs. I can eat beans too. Fucking gassy Mexicans, get out of here! See beef.
This is beyond casual racism. This is actually offensive now.
Stealing our jobs. Stealing our Twitch jobs.
Jesse's turned heel. This is terrible. He's gonna get RKO'd in a minute. You know it.
I'm Jesse finished. I'm done.
Okay, and that's at twitch.tv/ITMEJP, right?
Yeah, and all the VODs are youtube.com/ITMEJP. Oh, and thanks to you guys, because I think I started coming on this when I had like 70K subs on YouTube, and we crossed 100K about 2 weeks ago. So thank you guys.
I'll be cashing in that favor at some point. I can guarantee.
At some point,
I'm gonna come around 10 years and like, you know how I got you all those viewers? Well, I need you to kill a man for me.
Oh, that's not where I thought that was going.
No. It's like, suck my dick, JP. No.
He just comes up and says, "Be my Han." I'm like, I'm out.
Be my Han.
I'm out.
Be my slave Leia, JP.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, stuff coming up the channel. There was going to be a Hearthstone video today, but I accidentally forgot to encode it last night. So that's going up tomorrow. That's a brand new deck that I've got, which is a full Enrage deck. My entire deck concept is minions that take damage from my own shit. So it's got some interesting moments in it. Let's just put it that way. So, Yep, that's going to be fun. Outside of that, there's loads of games to look at. Fucking loads of them. So many, they're actually covering the Skype call. There we go. Like, there's this amazing Russian knockoff of Hotline Miami that I must play. I must. It looks absolutely terrible. It's called Bloodbath Kavkaz. It literally looks like a terrible ripoff of
old Kavkaz.
Yeah. Terrible ripoff of Hotline Miami. So I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna call the video Not Line Miami.
Boo!
Got it.
Boo!
Got it.
Boo this man. Internet, boo this man.
RKO from out of nowhere.
It, dude.
All right, outside of that, Convoy is definitely on the list. Assassin's Creed Chronicles is on the list. Probably Telepath Tactics is on the list if I get the chance to actually play that. Westerado. I got loads of shit. I got loads of stuff. And of course, we've already done coverage of Killing Floor 2 because, we're way ahead of everybody else. But I might be streaming it tonight with Maggie, so keep an eye on the Twitter. I'll /host it on my Twitch channel anyway if I don't stream myself, so feel free to just watch it there. There's going to be a bunch of stuff. I'm ramping up WTF Is this week. I'm trying to do one every day, but I'm not going to get one done today because obviously I've had the podcast, but I'm trying to do at least get one video a day out this week and try to get back to normal. Because unfortunately, in a few weeks, we're not going to have a podcast because I'm going to be in hospital for my final surgery. So I'm looking forward to the morphine. That's going to be great fun. If they get me some Dilaudid as well, that shit's good. Oh my god, it feels like you're being hugged by a cloud. It's just, oh god, the Skype.
You're gonna say clown,
good.
And I was like, don't.
No, not the clown.
That.
No, that's the other kind of drugs. You don't want that.
That's another type of drug. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that one. No. Yeah, 12th of May, the podcast will probably be hosted by Jesse because I'll be in hospital, so I'll be out of action for a few days. Not too many, but I'll be out of action for a few.
Finally, we'll get some shit done.
Jesse, is that going to be is that going to be the 3-hour podcast about Final Fantasy 14 that me and Dodge are invited to?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
When you're in charge, you can pull a TV and just silence everyone.
Yep.
I'm going be hardcore. Like, what? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Boop. Next caller.
You're not coming to me and Strippin's wedding, Jesse? We're going to have you in the front row. You get a special minion.
What? You get a minion for going to a...
Yeah, now you're interested. Now you're
interested. Not at all.
There you go.
No, I'm not at all. That's stupid. Show up to our wedding, you get a free minion. Get out of life.
We're charging
To be fair,
people.
I
We're
would
gonna
go
be
to
rich.
more weddings IRL if I got a free minion, because fuck weddings otherwise. Just go to hell.
If I got it like a slave child for just showing up to a wedding, I'd be thrilled by that. I'd go.
Lovely.
Come, minion.
Fantastic.
Little boy follows you home like, all right.
We're not giving Krendor the host position because it's like, that's not even a podcast. That's just 3 hours of bullshit. No, absolutely not. He's terrible at that. What I will say, Friday, Corruptional Lounge returns after its 2-week hiatus. We're playing Epic Spell Wars, which means that all of you need to bring a robe and wizard hat. I'm halfway there already. I do have a wizard hat as well, so we're all good.
I own that shit, son.
Yep.
Easy.
Robe and wizard hat, we're going to be playing Epic Spell Wars. Krendor can't possibly fuck that game up. That game's so easy, there's no way.
No, he just...
He'll take it as a challenge, won't he? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Got a riot on your hand. We got to get out of here quick.
Yeah, that's going to be... Yeah, I know. Most likely 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Friday. I fucking hate you, chat. All right, we're done. Thank you very much for watching the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Please remember to follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube, and ignore Krendor in every possible mode. No, oh, fuck. Just go away. I've got him words now because of Krendor.
That is crazy.
I'm done. Bye.